Beats Planet.
Sound check. Yo, yo, yo. Got some chicken to go. I need Lieutenant Dan's face on there. So I need to click that button. Not that button. What happened to your face, Dan? I just saw your face. What up, y'all? We back like bra straps and we doing this on the go because we ain't professional at all. But Lieutenant Dan, say what's up though.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? I wonder if this has been one of those nights. It was, there's always technical difficulties with one or two of our shows, and I guess we just need to be consistent and keep having those technical difficulties. I
just saw your goof ass face, Dan, but it ain't letting me do the damn. Let me. Why is that not working? Why is that not working? No, because Dan, the people got to see you. They got to see you, Dan. I'm not gonna stop till they see you.
Hold on. There. How about that?
Thank you, Dan. Your punk ass got me. Thank you, man. It's your fault. It's your fault. You doing this. That's why them people in the chat box be talking shit about you, Dan.
I don't give a shit about any of those people.
Hey man, let me tell y'all something, people in the chat box, man.
Nice try.
Y'all be telling me to leave damn my motherfucking friend. Y'all can go watch goddamn Adam Schefter if y'all want whatever the hell, if y'all don't want to hear Lieutenant Dan. Y'all gonna hear Lieutenant Dan. Shit. That's my goddamn homie. Anyway though, we back like bra straps, and I normally don't do these type of shows because I think they're incredibly weird and they're strange and they're corny and it's very Cleo Lombardi. But we need them views in July, boy. So we gonna get this thing going. We need talking points. But for the sake of consistency, Eric Echevarria. Tell me if I said that right. What up? Yes, what's happening? Young C Money. I told him that University of Texas San Antonio was a small school. He started breaking down the budget. Yeah, they got more money than me. They ain't got more money than the big schools. Go ahead, Dan. I'm doing shout-outs.
Yeah. Just give me a second.
Go ahead. Fake Mike Vrabel. Yvette Wilson. What up, though? Mahomes. What up, Mahomes? Ja Camara. Joe. Thomas. Ninja Nuts. Raging Cajun say I suck. This is so hilarious, Raging Cajun. Like, just your view and your comment alone has made such a contribution, dog. So just you coming to talk a little mess, it contributes to the overall production of what we're trying to do here. So salute to you too, Raging Cajun. Julian, what up? Dead for life. Vach, work kicked me out, so I get to catch a live stream this time. Dead for life. Tell me if you got fired. What up, Keon? Colby, Wiggle Bell, Big Chiefer. That means you smoke. Gonna be a Vikings versus Chiefs Super Bowl. Ugh. We're gonna talk about it. Virginia's finest Cowboys. What up? Cody, Josh, Thick Shake. Virginia's fine. I said that already. Julian, Justin, Nicholas. Cool. Not gonna say no more. I'm not going to call nobody else because everybody seems to be called out. Coach Evans in the chat box living his best life. Just got back from hometown, Coach. What's crackalacking? Desmond. OG Sandman. What up, Jason? What up? And I can't do all these. I can't do everybody. I can't do everybody now. Humble Terrence David. All right, cool. Other David. Cool. Michael, what up? Okay, so this is what we're going to do, though. Lieutenant Dan, we were taking a walk the other day, and he sent me a request, and he says he wants to break down these divisions. He wants to discuss who would be division winners. He wants to discuss who he thinks would win the Super Bowl in some type of playoff format or whatnot. So this is going to be a very shotgun type prediction blog type of deal. We're not going game by game We're not going game by game, getting the exact records correct. We're not doing that. That's going to take a lot of time. We may do that close to training camp, and we run out of topics. After training camp, and we run out of topics to talk about. But this will be a rough guesstimation of who we think is going to win each division. Roughly, which wild card teams would be what. We're going to figure out a fictional playoff structure. Okay. And then we're going to talk about who's going to be in the Super Bowl and who's going to win that damn thing. All right? The phone lines are open. But however, y'all know when we do these long-winded type shows, we're going to do a lot of the talking, and we'll jump into the phones every now and then. So, yeah, we are taking calls. So, like, every division or two, we'll take a time out and just get a few short calls just to kind of get y'all's idea, to get y'all's temperature, let y'all, cuss us out and disagree or agree with us, or just, whatever. Get your thoughts. Change our mind. And let's have fun tonight, man. It's a beautiful time where we can all come together and rejoice in brotherhood and talk about the sport that we love and fuss in a structured manner. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost here. Training camp is, some teams in it already. Some teams got a couple more days to go. But it's upon us, y'all, so we must be prepared. Dan, after you take a sip of your booze, tell them where they can find you at.
First of all, Doski Woski. Just everybody in here. And also, Dilly. For a little bit. He's got some water. I got some beer. And that's how we'll just kind of keep it. You guys can find me on YouTube, Unintentional Grounding. Go check it out. Falcon stuff. Falcons breakdowns, video games, live stuff on my Instagram, UNGR_show, as well as on Twitter, UNGR_show. I'm an idiot, Vaj, and I should have been wearing my Unintentional Grounding T-shirt from my merch store that I just had go live.
Talk to him about that. Tell him about the shirts, Dan. Tell him about the shirts.
But the shirts are because of course I bought one of my own shirts first because I don't want people to just buy my shirts and then be like, "This is a crap shirt," because that's just not how it goes.
True.
But the shirts are actually of incredible quality.
Chat box say link it.
And
chat box say link it.
Looks amazing. Here, I'll get you the link real quick.
Yeah. Take your time. We'll drop the link in the chat box. We'll put it all over the place and put it on your Twitter, and we'll tell people where to go find you at. But let's hop into it. Let's run it for the cardio. Coach Evans is in the chat box.
I'm the quarterback. Let's go.
Okay, so look, Dan said he's the quarterback and I'm the center, so we got to figure this shit out on the go. But Coach Evans in the chat box, so let's do the AFC North first. Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. Dan, what's your overall thoughts about the AFC North?
Well, as the quarterback, I'm going to point a couple of things out. First of all, do you believe in Joe Flacco, or do you think that Lamar Jackson's going to take over eventually during this season? Number two is what is your thought on the Bengals as a team as a whole? Because I think that's everybody's question in here is, are they consistent enough to be able to do what they need to do to win games and be a menace in that division? Number three, do you think Baker Mayfield's starting game one? Or do you think that Tyrod Taylor's just going to be there? Like, he's going to be there until they think that Baker's ready to go. What do you think of that whole defense that they've been building there for a little while? The last thing is, Le'Veon Bell, is this man just going to give up the whole season and just cash it in for free agency next year? And is Big Ben gone? That's I think, the biggest questions here, because if guys are not mentally there, then what's the point? You know, your team's going to suffer for that.
You'll never know somebody's true thoughts about the Le'Veon Bell situation until their fantasy football draft. You can walk around with all this daggum faith in Le'Veon Bell if you want to. If you got faith in Le'Veon Bell, draft the first overall, see what happens. Vach ain't going to do it. You want to know why? Because I think this man's going to try to stay healthy. I don't think this man's going to – his mind not in it. You know what I mean? He's removed from the situation. He's trying to get his bread. Pittsburgh won't give him his bread. The Baltimore Ravens will give him some bread. the Cleveland Browns will give him some bread. So I think we're going to get a very removed, detached. Yeah, I remember Jadeveon Clowney's last season at South Carolina when he was when he was top tier his sophomore year, and Marshawn Marcus Lattimore. And Marcus Lattimore just tore his whole knee up, and Jadeveon was like, I lose a lot of money if I get hurt. And then Jadeveon was just kind of chilling, and he was on the sideline, and he faked the injury, and he was like, oh, my hip hurt. I can't play the rest of the season. I expect Le'Veon to pull some mess like that. So I'm not saying the Steelers going to be trash, because I think that team is talented enough to transcend any type of smoke like that. But man, Le'Veon he's kind of scary, man. And you know, people say you don't want to pay a running back, but you're not paying a running back. You're paying your offense's identity. You know what I mean? And if one piece is missing, the rest of the algorithm could go bad. So I think, you know, it's worth a shot. As far as the Bengals go, I expect a top 5 pick out of them. They should go get Rashawn Gary or something, whoever's going to be a top pick, man. The Bengals just ain't built for the funk this year. They're probably going to be the 4th team coming out of this division. And Baltimore Ravens could walk away with this thing easily if Joe Flacco starts. Now, I don't think Lamar should start, but I do think Joe Flacco, and I'm on record saying this, I do think Joe is a smooth 4 consecutive 3-and-outs before the crowd starts to chant for Lamar Jackson. Joe ain't dumpster juice, ain't like super hot fire trash. Like, he's not that. But people are sick of Joe. And Lamar Jackson is a breath of fresh air, and he's very flashy. So, you know, we'll see. As far as the Browns, I ain't got no answer for the Browns. I don't have a good idea about what the Browns gonna bring. I'm optimistic though. I'm optimistic.
Same. I'm optimistic about the Browns. Browns have a future, unlike over the last couple of years that they've been doing their thing. It's tough. I know for Browns fans themselves to even support their own club and how it's going down. But even for regular fans outside of their own organization, outside of their fan base, like doing what they're doing, I think we're all secretly, other than whoever's in that division, I think we're all secretly thinking, hey, man, we all kind of want to root for the Browns a little bit, just a tad bit.
You know why?
Because we want to see them succeed.
Let me stop you. You know why we want to root for the Browns? Because every year they get our favorite players.
Why you want to root for the Browns?
Because every year they get our favorite players. They get the best guys every year, and we hope that they do okay. I'm not gonna root for the Giants at all, but I hope Saquon does well. Like you know, I'm not such a Cowboys fan that I want to see Saquon fail. Like, those people don't like football. I want to see Saquon be great. However, I do want to see Saquon lose to Dallas twice a year. So, you know, but I've gone on that people really don't like football rant before. I'm not going to do it again here. But the Ravens, I think they're the most intact team that we can pretty much have the most faith in out of that division. So I give the Ravens number 1, the number 1 rank out of this, out of the North. Steelers 2, Browns 3, Bengals 4.
I'm gonna go with Steelers 1, Ravens 2, Bengals 3, Browns 4. It's kind of where I think that the division kind of will stay the same ish.
I can't hate you for that, but you ain't about to sit up here and tell me that the damn Bengals going to be better than the Browns this year. I refuse. Not going to be able to do it.
Well, I mean, again, I'll point it down this way. We don't know anything about the Browns. We just don't know. It's such a big question mark. I know what the Bengals are.
Fair enough.
I don't know what the Browns are. Mm-hmm. So I know the Bengals can at least win about 4 games. Sneakily. So
and the Browns going to win 3? What the hell wrong with you, man? Get off the phone. Get off the phone. What the... Anyway, Steven Benzick in the chat box. What up? Let's show Steven Benzick some love because he a gangster. Let's go to NFC North with the damn who in the North? The Bears, the Vikings, the Packers, and Lions. I think that'll be probably one of the most competitive divisions. What you think there, Dan?
Well, what we're looking at right now is Aaron Rodgers. Is he fully healthy? He had that type of injury that Tony Romo had where if he gets hit again, he might be gone type deal. So not feeling that. They did just get Jimmy Graham, though. So that's kind of interesting.
Let me say this, man. I expect Jimmy Graham to be trash when he gets there, dog. I expect Aaron Rodgers to completely ignore Jimmy Graham. I don't want these people. And I always bring it back to fantasy because you may not be a Packers fan, but that's the only way I can bring y'all emotion into this. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Graham gonna be trash, man. Devontae Adams will be fine. Randall Cobb would be okay. Geronimo Allison will be pretty good. Jimmy Graham will be trash. He will be a shell of himself.
There's a lot of meh on that roster.
He will be
like a lot of meh.
Aaron Rodgers bumps the median up. he bumps the median so high. So
I've said it on my show, and I've said it on your show. I've said it on calls, and I've said it on Skype. I've said it everywhere. Twitter, it doesn't matter. The Packers are using Aaron Rodgers as a crutch to get over these next couple of years so that they can tool this team back up again. They don't have anything to keep them alive. Look. I don't hate the Packers. Okay? I'm just saying the truth. It's bad drafting. This is Lombardi's draft talk that we're from. This is bad drafting for years now. Player development is at an all-time low, and they're using Aaron Rodgers as a crutch.
Are you saying Mike McCarthy ain't shit?
I'm saying that Mike McCarthy's having to work with what he's got. And that's called a bad GM and a bad owner, not capitalizing on situations during draft time when all other teams are doing their reports, doing their homework. I think the Packers are kind of twiddling their thumbs. And look, I don't care what kind of draft strategy you have. It needs to work. And it's obviously not working there. And if Aaron Rodgers is gone, we know what that team turns into. Hot garbage. Absolutely hot garbage.
But he's not gone though, Dan. He there.
Yeah, so
he here.
We'll keep it there.
He here. Yeah.
What do you think about the Vikings? Do you think the Vikings under Kirk Cousins and a Dalvin Cook coming back?
I think the Vikings got the most. I think they have the most talented team on paper in the league. Now we don't know if it's gonna work though. We don't know if it's gonna work. But they ain't lost nobody on defense. They've only retooled that thing. Drafted Mike Hughes from Central Florida or whatever, so he's gonna just bolster that little cornerback depth. Because if you had to hit him somewhere,
I forgot that they had that shit.
If you had to hit him, if you had to hit him somewhere, you'd be like, well, Terrence Newman is 40. Well, it's cool. It's cool. They working on that.
Didn't the Vikings have a sneaky little draft?
Yeah,
they had a sneaky good little draft there, didn't they?
My homeboy said he fresh doesn't like it, man. But they went to get a tight end.
They can fight me.
Oh God,
fresh can fight me. We can go fisticuffs.
They got a tight end. They got a punter. They got the kid from Pittsburgh, the offensive lineman from Pittsburgh. So they did some work in the draft. Not amazing, but I think you're adding at quarterback and running back because Dalvin Cook is healthy. You're adding him. And I do think Kirk Cousins is better than what's his face from University. Case Keenum. So I do think Kirk Cousins can give you value in the passing game. Because he threw for like 4,900 yards with the Redskins, right? So now he has better receivers in Thielen and Diggs and Kendall Wright. Goddamn. He upgrades his offensive line. He upgrades his running back situation, and his defense is a mile better than what it was in Washington. So I can fully expect the Minnesota Vikings to do great things. Now, like I said, I don't really believe in this whole dream team narrative. See what happened to the Eagles. I got to see it first. However, on paper, they're probably the best looking team in the league.
It all comes down to whether or not Kirk Cousins is the Kirk Cousins that's saying you like that, or it's the Kirk Cousins that looks like an average quarterback to maybe a below average. He's not hitting, he's not. Teams are stacking the box and stopping Cook and the running game from getting going because they know that the passing game is really bad, and it all falls really on Kirk Cousins and his it was guaranteed money, fully guaranteed money that he got.
It's a
guaranteed that Kirk Cousins is going to come out and throw you 40 touchdowns or something like that. Because I mean,
huge number. But what's really important with the North though, and it's this probably going to be the hardest division to break down. I was going to save it for later, but Steven Benzik, such a gangster, dropping a dime in the super chat. You got to look at where every team improved, right? Like let me okay. So look, the Chicago Bears, right? They probably made the biggest offensive flip, like all together. Like they got rid of everybody they had on offense, and they gave Mitch all the weapons. Like they got totally different receivers. They got Allen Robinson in there. They got Taylor Gabriel in there. They drafted Anthony Miller in there. They added Iowa James Daniels on the offensive line. I fully expect Money Mitch to be better than what he was last year. But that don't mean I can fully push the Bears to the front because the rest of this division is still nasty. Because the Detroit Lions, they're going to run the football now. They went to get T.J. Lane. They got Ricky Wagner. They drafted Oregon, kid from Oregon, offensive line from Oregon. Then they got Frank Ragnar, whatever. So their offensive line is built to run the football now. All you need is a gangster at running back, insert Kerryon Johnson. And I do think that quarterbacks don't turn great till they 30. And Matt Stafford right up in their range the way he's playing his best football. So the line is fully improved. This the one thing though, and I'm gonna let you go. Even the little punk ass Packers, right? They added the fat kid that plays defensive tackle. He gonna plug things up in the middle. Wilkerson. They added Muhammad Wilkerson. Plus, they went to go draft two corners. Right? We think that they got problems at corner. They got Kevin King on one side with his tall long ass. Then they gonna add Louisville kid and Iowa kid. The draft's behind me, so I'm bad with names right now. I'm moving forward. But they went to go draft the Louisville kid and the Iowa kid, in which some people felt like either one of those guys could have been the best corner out of the draft or whatever. So the damn Packers, they made improvement. The NFC North has probably flipped their roster. These four teams have probably flipped their rosters better than any other division. And somebody got to fall by the wayside. I'm going, as of now, sorry, Stephen Benzie. I got Vikings 1, Packers 2, Lions 3, Bears 4. But that's going to be a competitive division, though. Like, I think the Bears can beat the Packers one time. I think anybody can beat the Vikes one time. But that I
don't think anybody in that division is going to sweep anybody.
Absolutely.
That's where I was about to go. I was about to say I don't think anyone is going to sweep anyone in that division. I don't think the Bears are going to get swept. I don't think that the Lions are going to get swept. The Packers are obviously not going to get swept, and the Vikings, when they play at home, are dangerous and not very fun to play against. Yeah. And obviously will not get swept. And I think the tale of last season for the NFC North was injuries, just derailed by injuries by all teams. They just had key injuries everywhere. Mm-hmm. If that division stays healthy, and of course this applies to every NFL team, but if they all stay healthy, that division is going to be hard to determine because the Bears did show improvement. Money Mitch did look like he did improve from his collegiate level to the NFL level. He did look like he learned something. I like how people trash people and go, oh, they look terrible during their rookie seasons, or oh, they look terrible in their second season. Damn. And it's like, but did you see improvement though? Damn. Did you see development though? And if you see development, whether it be game by game or play by play or month by month, then you know that something's clicking. Something's clicking in there, whether it be with the coaches or the player himself accepting that this is the way things are going to be.
This the problem.
The Dan. Lions.
Real fast before we move on. Mitch gonna be nasty, Dan. Because he wasn't throwing at nobody last year.
Down the road, yeah.
And I would say the Bears are set up to be the better team in maybe 3 years or so, because the Vikings got to figure out how to pay these people. Pack is going to have to figure out life after Rodgers. Detroit, I think Detroit is kind of going to be trending up too, but, Matt's 31 now. But I do think since the Bears are building it the right way, they building it through the draft. Financially, they're going to be set, and they're young at quarterback. I think the Bears, in maybe 2 to 3 years, they're going to be the team to be worried about.
Remember when the Bears were kind of that team that you just didn't want to play back in the late 2000s? So you had 2008, 2009, something like that. Somewhere in there. Bears fans, tell me if I'm wrong.
Grossman,
I obviously don't.
Grossman, Thomas Jones, Muhammad.
When they had Kyle Orton back there or Jay Cutler back there or something, they were just drilling people.
They were
literally drilling.
That was Race Grossman.
Grossman back there.
Yeah, Devin Hester. Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm. When they were just absolutely destroying people. Their defense was solid. Their offense was scary good. They were contenders. These Bears are going to be back there. Not this year, but I definitely think they make an improvement. It's always hard to tell whether or not a team is going to be successful in their first year of a new coach. And I'm looking at the Lions and going, you have weapons. You have a good draft. You have a decent defense. You are flipping that defense to a different way, a different form. You are going to be playing more Patriot-style defense or whatever Patricia wants to play. Are you going to be effective? So I wouldn't be too surprised, and this may be a hot take. I wouldn't be too surprised if the Lions are last in this division.
You can't be. That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Totally
I wouldn't
fair.
be surprised.
Totally fair.
I think that the Bears could succeed them and have just a few wins over them or something along those lines. But I still stick with this. I think it's Vikings 1, as long as Kirk Cousins is doing his thing. Packers 2, until they prove me differently or prove me wrong. They don't have to prove anything to me, but obviously from the tail of the take. And then I think it's Bears 3.
Steven Benzick, we had 3.
I have Bears 3 and I have Lions 4, just because I think that the coaching is going to be a huge portion of this. And every other team has a successful coach that's been there for a while. So,
which division is more competitive, the NFC North or the NFC South?
South.
Okay.
South.
Okay.
Because actually, no, I won't do that bias. The North is going to be more competitive. It's going to be a lot better. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just going to be awful.
True.
They're just going to be that. And look, take it from someone who knows their defensive coordinator as the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. His bend don't break defense is what gets Tampa Bay exposed, even though they have talent at all positions. They have talent at the defensive line, they have talent at the linebackers, they have talent at the safeties, and they have talent at the corners. And they play a bend don't break defense, Tampa 2 type deal, and they get exposed. But we're not onto that right now. Vikings 1, Packers 2, Bears 3. Detroit Lions 4. I think the Detroit Lions played a lot better than they were supposed to last year, and I think they do take a step back this year.
Later on, when we get into the playoff Super Bowl structure, it's gonna get real weird looking at the North real fast. But let's jump into to these calls real fast. Keon, quickly, what up, bro?
Hey, how's it going, Vosh?
Doski Woski, what you got?
I did not get fired.
Yeah, man, what you mean? You got sent home from work, man. What are you saying?
I'm out of beer.
I was just
Go get one.
I was just speaking the truth, and people were not having it, so they sent me home. But I'm all right. That's fine. But I think that the NFC. I'm sorry. I'm an NFC South fan. I honestly think that they're going to be the most competitive. But I know that you guys aren't talking about that right now.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yes, we will get there. But I agree with Mr. Benzick about Lieutenant Dan with the order that he put out. The Lions coming in last, even though I think they're going to be. They can beat anybody with the talent that they have. It's just it is a coaching issue that they got a lot of new personnel.
Yeah.
And they've never been successful running the ball. And they're going to try to just fix that all at once. I'm not sure if that's going to work. But hey.
Yeah, I got you.
That's the whole.
I got you. You can feel free to call in when we run the South, or did you want to hang on because you didn't want to run your dad up, or is that Shreyas that does that? I forgot.
No, I do that too.
Okay.
You opened me up to that.
Okay, cool. Did you want to hang around, or did you want to call back?
I will hang around. I'll be here.
Okay, I'm going to mute you, though.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool. The homie Keon said he want to save money on his data by just listening in. Shreyas, what the hell you want, man?
What's up, Watch?
What's that?
So my opinion on this is the same as I think yours.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say NFC North?
Mm-hmm.
You said NFC North, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So because you look at the teams, all 4 teams are potential playoff contenders, and put them in any other division, they probably would be playoff contenders. But they're just so crowded together that I think, as you said before, if I'm remembering correctly, that no team has a clear, obvious sweeping chance over the other team.
Right.
The Bears could beat the Vikings. The Vikings could beat the Packers. It's not like you expect one team to completely annihilate the other team.
Right.
Unless Kirk Cousins has some kind of a heroic Peyton Manning 2013 type season,
Sure.
there shouldn't be any.
Sure. Kirk Cousins threw for 4,900 yards with the Redskins, and he improved his receivers, improved his offensive line, and he improved his running back. He didn't
improve his offensive line.
He kind of improved. I I ain't got faith in the Raiders in the Redskins offensive line like y'all do. I think Trent and Scherf kind of bring the median up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I ain't got
Yes, they do.
I ain't got faith in the rest of them like that. But whatever. I'll let you go ahead.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying mainly because Vikings offensive line is not as great as people make them out to be. They are not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you put a bunch of centers at guard. You put a bunch of guards at tackle.
Damn.
I don't think they have guards at tackle. Actually, my bad. I think it's just centers at guard. I don't see them working out long term.
Who you just said?
For 1 year with a.
Who you just said was trash?
Who
you just?
I said the Vikings offensive line.
Damn.
I don't trust it as much as many people do, I guess, or
Damn.
some people do. I don't even know.
Damn.
I don't trust it. When I watched them, they were unstable. The guards. I don't like the interior.
Dan
And
with the shirt on.
Kirk
Shut up,
Cousins-
Shrey. Shut up, Shrey. Dan, plug your shirts right now. Plug them. Do it.
Fam,
Hey.
fam. If you guys,
That's Shrey's, man. He all right. That's
if you
Shrey's.
guys go to streamlabs.com/unintentionalgrounding merch, you can find these shirts. Man, these things are comfortable as hell.
I'm so
I
proud.
spent some good money, man.
Word.
I spent some good money to make sure that I have good shirts for my merch. So
I'm so proud of Dan.
go check it out, man. Go check it out.
So goddamn proud.
Streamlabs.com/unintentionalgrounding /merch.
Shreyas, go ahead and wrap up your point so we can keep moving.
Is that Shrey in
Yeah,
there?
first
He's
of
easy.
all,
He's saying a bunch of nonsense. Shrey, go home. Go home. You're drunk, man.
Shreyas is saying a little bit of nonsense, but go ahead though.
A little bit of nonsense.
Go,
What exactly in what I said was nonsense?
All right, Shrey, thanks for calling.
Well,
Did you want to hang around on the phones or did you want to hang up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm
I'll
gonna come
hang, I
back.
guess.
I'm gonna come back. Dad, why I do Shrey like that, man? Hold on, let me cut the phone back up. Hey, Shrey, you the homie, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to mute you again. Shut up.
Shrey and Arnav are they're quality people. I like them. But sometimes it's just the rants, man.
I probably do Arnav worse, man. Desmond, what up, though?
What up, man? I'm just here waiting on y'all talk about the AFC West.
AFC.
My Raiders, man.
We're getting to it, man. We're getting to it.
Okay.
Hold your horses. Keep your bra strap on, man. We got it. We got it lit.
AFC West. All right, let me mute you. We gonna do some AFC West, and I'm gonna come back to you. All right?
All right, man.
Yes, sir. Dan,
There we go.
AFC West. Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs. Who the hell else in the AFC West? Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers.
Chargers. I think the stories for the AFC West from an outside point of view, like you're not part of one of those four fan bases, are as follows.
Mhm.
Does Phillip Rivers have enough to be able to lead this team ever again?
Mhm.
They've got a really good, well, from what people are telling me from Chargers land, from the fan base, is that the Chargers defense is pretty decent. It's decent.
Yes. It's
Just, you know,
they
just a little
got.
bit.
You know what? They got two great pass rushers and they got two great corners. I'll give them that.
Let me just kind of side table this one other team first. Denver's got a really interesting pass rush now. Shane Ray apparently is going on the PUP list.
Fourth.
Is he going to PUP?
Fourth.
I think that's coming out now.
Fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
Fourth.
Oh yeah,
The Broncos.
really.
The Broncos are fourth. Spoiler
Let's
alert.
see who else.
The
Who else
Broncos.
is in,
The Broncos are fourth.
does
I wish Keenan Allen would just stay healthy because he could be so great. I wish.
does Chucky actually know what he's going to do with this Raiders team?
You know, the Broncos might not be fourth. I don't know. The Broncos might not be fourth.
Yeah.
And I know Dez on the phone.
But the
and
real
Dez,
question
and,
is,
and Dez don't want to hear me say Raiders might be fourth, but the Raiders could be fourth here. But I'm gonna listen to your point.
Time
though.
out.
Go
Time
ahead.
out.
Go
But the real question is, does Pat Magic blow up this entire division?
he might.
Because I'm ready for it, man. Look, bro. I've been waiting for this.
That's hilarious.
I've been waiting. Pat Magic, bro.
Think
Pat
about
Magic.
Think about Pat's transition though. Is
I'm ready.
everybody waiting on that deep ball to Tyreek Hill, and Kareem Hunt has kind of made his way into the fold or whatever. Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid can make a running back out of anybody, but I like the situation Pat Magic is walking into it. However,
Man, I really want him to do so well.
I want Pat to be so good. Dan, look, it was just like yesterday we were talking about the Broncos and the Raiders being like 1-2, but they could easily be 3-4 now. So I think it's really a Chiefs and Chiefs and Chargers conversation. I like the moves that the Chargers have been making on their offensive line the past 2 years. They're gonna keep Phillip upright. They're gonna continue to pound with Melvin. I need Keenan Allen healthy though. If Keenan Allen can play 16 games, Famo, ain't no telling what they could pull off. Because I love that dude, man.
And their running back, they need their running back to be healthy and be able to stay on the field. They need to be able to grind that out, because if not, Melvin Gordon's just, what is he even doing there? Like, get out, get out of there, man. Go find a team that's worth it.
So I think. And look, man, the Chargers have always been the best, worst team I've ever seen in my life. They've always been great teams, but they find a way to lose. What's up, Dan?
Time out. Rick Smith. I've been giving Deshaun Watson his credit for many, many, many months. I'm a Clemson fan. I knew what he was coming out of college to be. It's certain doubters, he was only reading one guy on one side of the field.
He was
that doubted whether or not he could read guys on the second level and be able to run when needed to, but stay into the pocket when needed to. And he proved that. He proved that easily last year.
I talked about what I saw. They did a great job in the offseason.
I'm just saying.
No, I talked about what I talked about what I saw.
I'm sorry, Vach. Continue what you were saying. I threw you off track. I'm sorry.
I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers are they've always been like the best, worst team. They've always been good. Phillip Rivers always give me great fantasy numbers, but they always find a way to lose. And I think
that one game where they had to kick a field goal and it was gonna easy fucking field goal, and then it hit off the side of the bar, and then you're like, that throws off my entire fantasy league, and then I get really upset and start throwing things in my own living room. Yeah, I remember that.
They just find a way to lose, but damn it, the Chiefs do too. How many times have the Chiefs went undefeated, then turned that thing around and looked regular? You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to call this division.
What's up, Tennessee?
Stop it, Dan. So I'm gonna go because I think the team as a whole, right? I'm gonna trust Chargers number one. I'm gonna give the Chargers I'm trusting them number one. Chiefs number two. Chiefs probably make the playoffs as well though, but Chiefs number two. Broncos 3, Raiders 4. And I know Desmond on the phone and he ain't gonna like that. I'm about to unmute him in a second. He ain't gonna like Raiders at number 4, but what you want me to do? Go ahead, Dan. What you got?
I'll go. Shit.
I know.
I'll go Chiefs 1, Chargers 2.
That's fair.
Raiders 3, Broncos 4.
You ain't got to say that just because Dez on the phone though. You really think Raiders gonna be?
No. I think that this team will look decent. I don't think that they're gonna win a lot of games, but they're gonna look decent.
Okay.
They're gonna look decent.
Let me hit the phone so I can. Dez, what up, bro?
What up, man?
What you got for the show, Dez? What you got for the show, Dez? My bad.
I understand why I think my boy Raiders going to be 3-4 because so many wild cards we have. We don't know about how defense is going to be, new head coach, basically offensive line too. I understand that, but just think about it. If Gruden can get any success he had before, and our defense can play to the talent we have, Khalil, Bruce Irvin, that safety from UConn last year we drafted that got hurt for most of the season, Maurice Hurst, Arden Key, first-round talent in the 3rd and 5th round. Come on now.
Sure, but look, I think the Raiders had a terrible draft though. I don't think you should have gotten Arden Key in the third round. I mean, I don't think you should have gone.
Actually,
sir,
time out. If you do the Raiders draft backwards. then it's the greatest draft that you like.
Dan,
wow,
we're not gonna do this.
Draft.
Dan, we're not gonna do this. I have no faith in Colton Miller until he proves me otherwise.
Yeah, I know. I talk about Parker. Colt Miller. I understand that.
The other tackle that y'all kind of traded up, reached and grabbed too. That was bad business. I think the Raiders did. The Raiders not trade out of their pick to Arizona, and they only gave y'all like a third or something.
Yeah.
Terrible draft. Terrible draft. Like Arizona kept their first round picks, gave you a third, and got their franchise quarterback. Terrible draft. Arden Key, he's a pass rusher. I don't know if he loved football, man. I don't know if he loved football. Draft him in the third. I mean, if he was squeaky clean, you probably draft him in the second or third. But I don't know, man. I just got a lot of questions, man. And
it's a lot of wild cards on this. That's what I'm saying. I say, in my personal opinion, it'll be Chargers and Raiders for the 1 and 2, and then Chiefs. I don't trust the Chiefs because of two reasons: Mahomes and that defense. That defense isn't the same anymore.
You trust the Raiders defense over the Chiefs defense?
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. Not because I'm just saying.
It does. It does.
I'm actually with him. I don't feel that that's too crazy. I don't think that that's incredibly crazy, but it's a flip of a coin for me.
Yeah.
All right, Dez. I appreciate you, Dez. Thank you for calling, sir. I guess that.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, Dez. The Raiders are fourth, y'all. Quit playing.
Not in my book.
Sam Pena, what you want, man?
Hey, Vach, how you doing?
What's up, bro?
All right, just wanted to call in, talk some AFC West.
Hey, how's the family? Shit, come on, let's go. What's up?
All right, well, you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about my Chargers.
Okay.
They're the team that, for some reason, every year they just seem to lose games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I agree with Lieutenant Dan, even though as a Charger fan, I want to say Chargers 1, Chiefs 2. For right now, I got to put the Chiefs number 1. Just because they've won it. Past 2-3 years, they've been always up there at the top or on top. And they've beaten us like 8 times in a row now. So I got to put the Chiefs 1 right now.
Okay.
But what I think is interesting about the Chiefs is they're kind of changing their identity. Like the last few years, I feel like they've been known more as a defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this year they're going all in on offense. You got Pat Magic now. You've got Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins at receiver and Kareem Hunt. But my question to you would be, what do you think about that offensive line? How do you think Pat's going to do once he faces guys like Bosa, Ingram, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and the list goes on in the AFC West?
You're going to have to adjust because, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you like I'm the expert on the Chiefs offensive line, but what I do know is the Chargers pass rush. I do know that a bit well, and you just gonna have to account for it. You just gonna have to adjust. Now, nobody's gonna come out here and get a sack every single play. It's not gonna happen like that. But I do think the Chiefs offensive line is better built to run the football than to pass block. So play action gonna be very important. And Pat may have to use his legs every now and then, so all that's taken into account. So we'll see.
Well, that's one of the things that Alex Smith was really good at. He's tortured us for so many years now because every time Bosa and Ingram do seem to get to him, he manages to extend the play just like a couple seconds and then beat us underneath just like a running back out of the backfield. It's annoying.
God damn, Amazon Prime. Yeah, I feel you, Sam Pena. Appreciate you though, man. That's all you had? That's all you got for the show? So we can move on?
Yeah, that's all I got. And I just want to say, hey, Lieutenant Dan, didn't mean to ignore you. I'd like to know your thoughts on that as well. Other than that, think it over. Peace.
Okay, salute. Lieutenant Dan, your thoughts on the Chargers fan putting the Chargers in second place?
Isn't that what I have them going with as well? I have Chargers.
I'm writing down. I'm writing down my answers. I ain't writing
Number
down.
two?
I'm not writing down.
I
your
don't have any
answers.
problem with it.
Okay. I feel you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have the Chargers going number 2. I mean, it's a team that needs to prove that Phillip Rivers still has something left in the tank, and that everybody needs to stay healthy. Because if they're all healthy, then they all have a chance to succeed. And if not, then they're going to be a struggling team, and they're going to have those weird, janky losses that, I mean, nobody can explain because it's just kind of like Sasquatch. Kind of like how does that happen? Does that exist? How do you lose a game like that? And I saw a lot of that last year. I saw that a lot the year before too. So maybe that's an identity problem. Maybe that's something with the coach and the players themselves need to come together. By the way, huge shout out to Mr. Roach for subbing to the channel, and dilly to the chat. I haven't seen anybody in the chat say dilly. We got 126 people watching right now. Damn. Dilly to all of y'all.
Shouts out to the Roaches. Somebody in the chat box said, somebody in the chat box said, Vash don't know how to admit when he's wrong. Go watch Coleman or something like that. Look, man, I don't create narratives. All I do is tell you what I see on the film. So I fully invite anybody to go to the Clemson film and tell me that Clemson Deshaun Watson is the same thing as Houston Texans Deshaun Watson. Now, when I watched my when I did my Houston Texans Deshaun Watson video, I gave him credit where credit is due. But Clemson Tiger Deshaun Watson, those are two different people. Dan, you rolling your eyes. I mean, what we got here?
Are we talking about the divisions, or are we talking about your film breakdowns?
See,
Let's go.
See, y'all letting Dan fool y'all. Y'all eating the cheese out here. Dan don't believe that. Dan gonna cut this damn Skype off.
Dan.
What up, Cardinal fan? Cardinal fan couldn't wait he couldn't wait for me to get to him.
By the way, it's really funny is that all the Falcons fans that follow me are full on to the nickname Lieutenant Dan, and they make that joke all the time. And I'm impressed that it has
come this far.
Actually gotten that. It's come this far, and everybody's accepted it. Also, by the way, I'm not feeding any cheese to anybody. You can go watch Vosh Lombardi's stuff. You can go see what he talks about Deshaun Watson, and it's not wrong. But when he makes that, and he's not creating a narrative, when he makes that video and he says, this is what I see, this is what's going on, he does pick a side. And he needs to stick to that side and then go, this is what I saw, what he's doing in college, and this is what I'm projecting what he's doing in the NFL. And then he comes to the NFL and all of a sudden, starts throwing the ball everywhere and doing what he needs to do. Of course, the offensive coordinator makes it more comfortable for him, making it easier reads and whatnot. Sure. But we see what he is capable of. Sure. And as a quarterback, he was ranked much lower, if I remember correctly, in Lombardi's rankings and Nick Williams' rankings.
Pat Magic was higher.
We can go on. Nick Gashler.
Pat Magic.
Go on and on.
Pat Magic was higher than Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna stand by that. I'm gonna stand by that. We gonna see.
Pat and Deshaun for me was a flip of a coin. You're gonna have success.
We gonna see when it come down like to 4th year, 5th year. But I do think Pat and Mitch gonna end up better than Deshaun.
Maverick, dilly, man.
But Cardinal fan, I'm so sorry, brother. He got me in here fussing. What you got for the show, brother?
But first of all, I heard someone say something about the Cardinals fleecing the Raiders, so I was trying to get in on that. Yeah, that was a good draft for the Cardinals. But
yeah, I said, look, man. Look, let me say that. Like, at what point do you only give up a 3rd round pick to get your franchise quarterback? That's so strange to me. So y'all stole that man. Go ahead.
Here's the thing with the Raiders and just the NFL in general, and why I have a problem with these kind of podcasts before the season starts. Mm-hmm. It's all about the coaching, right? I mean, how many head coaches have won the Super Bowl in the NFL right now? There's 7 of them, 8 of them? I don't know,
5.
something like that.
Yeah.
That's where coaches make the money, in the playoffs and making adjustments. So even when we're breaking down film, we're looking at them playing against scrub competition. All these talks need to be centered around the head coaches in the playoffs, because that's where they make their money. Think about it. Belichick. I mean, that guy will make adjustments on the fly. That's why he's the greatest of all time. Pete Carroll. He never has a top-tier team besides Russell Wilson coming and falling in their lap.
Defense.
I mean, but he's gotten it done everywhere he's went. Why?
Because
it's about the coaching, period.
Recruiting.
But so here's something I'm kind of curious about, just a little more substance than
and who's going to win the divisions. And we all know the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl anyways, but that's another discussion.
Damn, I can't wait till you see this damn no card I got.
I'm just messing with you, but Voch,
What's up?
I'm curious to know where your passion for football comes from. Like, where does that come from? Is a family thing? I mean, where does your passion for football come from? Why are you a Cowboys fan? Like, why? Because you're deep in it, game recognized game. So I'm just curious about that aspect of your show and your podcast.
Time out, Pat. Man,
go
good to see you in here. That's one of my grounders coming in here to join the stream. So
what up, Pat?
Good
man?
to see you in here, man.
Influence is very important. Cardinal fan, and I could have been a gangster. I could be in jail. I could have been a knucklehead or whatever. But the coolest person I've ever met in my life, still cool, is my uncle. He played football, and he's hilarious. He's a man's man. He built the picnic table. I want to build a damn picnic table. I still look up to that dude. That dude, like, father figure wise or whatever, like I got a biological father, like he in Fort Worth, Texas somewhere, but I got a stepdad that was there, and I got a granddad who was also a very important man in my life. But my uncle, I saw him play football and whoop somebody's ass one day, and it simply made me want to play football, right? It just made me want to line up and do it. I developed a love for it once I started to understand it while I was playing it. You know what I mean? Dan, go get a beer. Dan, go get a beer. So sure, I played the sport because he played the sport, but my understanding of it makes me appreciate it more. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell you to go eat pizza. Pizza tastes good, and you'll eat it. But if you eat some New York pizza from a pizza connoisseur, and they explain to you why this is, and they explain to you why this is, and this and that, and this and that, and it'll make you go, damn, nuance. Damn, this is why that is. Like, when you learn something new, you know what I'm saying? It just draws you closer to it. So I just had a knack for the game, technique, leveraging nuances, plays, offenses, defense. I learned it at a very young age, and it made me want to keep learning. It's a full body chess match. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know what I mean? Like, it's more than just 11 people running into each other. Like, it's taking advantage of spacing. I made this comparison one time, and Dan has heard me say this 3 times. You can look at football and compare it to like a video game, to like an RPG game or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To where my team is like a one-handed fighter with a little bit of magic. I need to draft pieces that coincide with my configuration, right? So if I'm a run first team, I don't need to draft a receiver 1 if I'm going to run the ball 30 times, right? Or if you're a team with an outstanding quarterback, like if you got Tom Brady at quarterback or whatever, but you never draft like offensive line for him. Like, just the nuances of the game is just so amazing to me that I understand it. And that's just my love for it. I'm passionate. I don't even watch basketball like that. I hate soccer. Tennis is trash. You know what I mean? I'm kidding about all that. But I just love football, bro. Stop it, Dan. I was playing, Dan. Shit. Great question, though, Cardinal fan. What else you got?
Well,
go ahead.
It's obvious. I think that's what why people enjoy watching you and listening to you and Lieutenant Dan. The passion or the emotional connection that you make with something as simple as football and explaining the X's and O's is a rare quality.
Yeah.
And I can obviously see that both of you have that, and I appreciate it. I can dig that. Like I said, game recognizes game. And for however many people are listening, go ahead, hit that Patreon button.
Wow.
But let's do it big time. Voch, what's the most you've ever made in one day?
Don't
tell me that. Let's say it's $1,000
sure.
on Patreon or a donation.
Sure.
Let's give Voch $1,000 today. Can we do that?
Damn.
Think about that. That would change somebody's life.
Damn.
A few bones to change somebody's life.
Damn.
And help them pursue their passion and their talent. Come on.
Wow.
Let's do that.
Wow.
Guys, have a great day.
Wow.
As soon as you talk about the Cardinals, just remember a couple things. Number 1, best running back in the league, hands down.
Sure, I agree. Sure.
And one of the best sack technicians, according to Vach himself in the NFL.
Yeah.
Going for 20-plus sacks this year.
I truly
agree. With a defensive-minded coach that's opening it up.
Yeah.
Man, that's scary stuff.
Wow.
Have a good night, guys. Keep me in the loop.
Appreciate it, man.
Take it easy, buddy.
Call back if you want to.
Whew. All right. Before you go on any more tirades about your life story.
Wow, man. Look, that man.
Let me just say, Cardinals fan, you're
Top tier.
You're a real one.
Top tier.
You're a real one, man. You're a real one. But first of all, I want to say the first two beers were dedicated to Vach and his willingness to have this whole setup going on. So I just totally killed those. I'm just gonna say this. I will kill this beer right now if a bunch of people go over and sub to my channel. I will kill this. I will kill this beer right now.
This ain't about you.
if we have a couple subs go over to the channel. I'm joking, y'all. Do whatever. We're drinking Michelob Ultra. We're drinking Michelob Ultra.
Hey, go sub to his channel. Dan does good work over there too.
Let's get on to the next division,
man.
Yeah,
let's run it, man.
I think it's been half an hour since we've been in the last division, man.
Don't worry about it, man. Like this show belonged to them.
It's true.
My name just on it.
It's true.
So
guys, I appreciate you. That's what Vach should be doing. Man, I appreciate you.
Let's go to awesome. NFC West since Cardinal fan just hung up. Let's go to NFC West. Seahawks, Niners, Rams, Cards. Are you drinking the Garoppolo Kool-Aid just yet, Dan?
I am with Shanahan there doing what he's doing. I understand that Shanahan has a particular way of molding quarterbacks and making them successful. So, and he knows how to take veteran quarterbacks who are also successful and make them into MVP caliber. So I understand it. I get it. Yeah, I'm drinking the Garoppolo Kool-Aid. I'm also drinking the Kool-Aid that the Seahawks will be last in this division. It's just too many pieces getting lost, and they didn't invest in the offensive line like they should have. And man, I just can't invest in the Seahawks for what they're worth. When Dan Quinn left the Seahawks, it was the beginning of a lot of troubles. And you hear a lot of Seahawks players constantly talk about how Dan Quinn was a huge portion of the reason why the Legion of Boom was so great. They respect that man, and he's the Falcons head coach now, and he's done great things for them. I truly believe the Seahawks are on a crazy train about to derail and fall off the cliff. There's something wrong there. I don't know what it is. Seahawks fans, you tell me what's going on. I don't want to make any crazy, outlandish hot takes, but man, the Seahawks don't look so great. The 49ers look like they're positive trending. The Rams are positive trending. Who else in the Cardinals? And man, the Cardinals. There's something about the Cardinals that just tells me that they're going to have at least 8 wins this season. They're going to have at least 8 wins.
My biggest problem with the Seahawks is that they act like they don't have a problem at offensive line. That's my only issue with the Seahawks, right? Like, they're a run-first team, right? Like, we give Russell Wilson accolades as a quarterback, sure. But let's not drink that Russell Wilson passer Kool-Aid. He's a good passer, but he should be a passer in a predominantly run-based offense. So when you lose the dominant runner, you lose Russell Wilson, in my opinion. Now, Russell Wilson still makes some good plays. He can still be productive. He'll be good on your fantasy team. He can escape and do circus-like things. But Russell Wilson will be great if you build his offensive line and give him a running back that he can lean on and flip the defense up. Flip the opposing defense up a little bit. The Legion of Boom ain't there no more. So that defense is no longer elite. Still a good defense though. Let's not sleep. Still a good defense. It's just not elite. I think.
I'm not saying that the Seahawks won't be successful, and I'm not saying that the Seahawks won't be potent.
They'll be fourth though.
Offense.
They will be fourth though. I agree.
But I think they will be fourth. I think that the division. I think that division is going to be hard to dictate because I don't think the 49ers are going to win the division. I think the Rams still have the top of this division. They're going to have another really good offensive season, especially with Sammy Watkins out of that offense and real wide receivers there. Sorry, Casey. But to be honest with you, it seems like there are two teams that are trending younger, draft-wise, young head coaches, newer head coaches who know what they're doing. And then there are two teams right now that are middle of the pack. Like, what have the Seahawks been doing to get better? I can't name anything off the top of my head. Maybe, chat, can you tell me? Can you tell me what the Seahawks been doing to get better? Can you tell me what the Arizona has been doing to get better?
Arizona's getting better a little bit though. They got their franchise quarterback. They gave him somebody to throw to.
Just genuinely curious. That's just my curiosity peak. Yeah. But I can see tape wise what San Francisco is doing, what LA is doing. They're doing good things. Yeah. They're young. They're talented. Yeah. They're on positive side of the trends. Yeah. They really are. They're on the positive side of the trends. They are following what the Eagles and the Patriots and the Steelers and the Ravens and the Seahawks all laid the groundwork for modern day NFL, which is incredibly talented safeties, really great offensive minded play calling that is trustworthy quarterbacks, a running back that's on the cheap, and tight ends and wide receivers that can get you down there, but they're not really elite. They're guys that are workhorses. And defenses who are stacked. They're stacked on the line. They're stacked at middle. They're stacked at linebacker. And they have interchangeable pieces at corner and elite safeties. Like I said, they are following the trend. Yeah. The trend is real. Go look. I don't want to shout out too much, but go look at Brett Coleman's video on the Eagles and what they did successfully to get to this point. They've got a GM that's willing to invest in the right places at the right times for modern day NFL. And that's what the San Francisco 49ers and what the LA Rams are doing nowadays. That's just facts. Yeah. What have the Seahawks done to follow the trend that they created, by the way? They created this trend.
Drafting Rashawn Penny in the first round and not drafting offensive lineman.
That's not a bad thing, though. They're drafting a guy that's a speed running back, and then they've got a quarterback that's a running quarterback. I don't know. Are they going college? Are they going college offense?
They both will be running for their life. I got Rams 1, Cards 2.
Down the beer, done.
I got Rams 1, Cardinals 2, 49ers 3, Hawks 4. While you taking your sip, let me get the Cowboys crunk. What up, Dow?
Hey, what up, boss?
Holding it down for the Doski Woski. Me and Lieutenant Dan. What up, though?
Hey, I wanted to say hello to Lieutenant Dan. I will be subscribing to his channel in here.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate that.
No, man. I love the business, and I love your knowledge. I really, this is something I got into this year because I fell away from. I'm a Cowboys fan, as the name entails. But anyways, I wanted to touch real quick one thing on the Raiders.
Y'all actually met each other. At the draft.
It was at the draft. That's right.
I
apologize, brother.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay. I don't remember every single face, but I try my best to remember people from their YouTube names. Mm-hmm. And I met a couple people at the draft from their YouTube names, and I was like, oh yeah, it's that guy, it's that girl. Oh my god.
I just threw my YouTube name together about a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. I started it at the draft, but I really didn't start my YouTube page until about a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. But I was the guy that had the other RV. I was there with Mark Holmes, and I had the other RV.
Oh yeah! Holy smokes! High five, man! Mm-hmm. Much love, appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. But I wanted to say I wanted to get with Vaj real quick on one thing.
What's up?
On the Raiders. I know I'm taking a step back, but I'm a little late.
Oh, go ahead.
Then I'll move forward to the next. But remember, I called it out, and I know you said the Raiders had a bad draft, but P.J. Hall was that guy I was talking about, and I know they got him in the second round. Yeah. I think that dude's going to be a beast for the Raiders, man. That dude is sick, man.
If they play him in the right spot, he will. If they play him at defensive end, we have a problem.
And
Yeah,
feeding
they
off of
shouldn't
what
play him
Botch
there.
just
And that's
said,
what
the
he wa-
two guys that I saw in this draft that I thought that were monsters that people needed to key in on were PJ Hall and BJ Hill. And what do you know? BJ Hill's already
Exactly.
doing starting reps with the Giants.
Mhm.
And PJ Hall has been reported that he's on the right track and they love him there.
Mhm.
So
So for some of the 80%ers out there that Vox likes to call them,
Mhm.
I want to give his stats out real quick. The dude is 310 pounds. He had a 38-inch vertical, 36 reps on the bench. He ran a 4.67, like
Crazy.
a low, or 4.65 in the 40. He's a freak of nature, bro. He's sick. And if the Raiders use him right, I think Gruden got a good pick. And that's not going to win him a Super Bowl, but actually that's who I have. I have going to the Super Bowl, the Raiders and the Cowboys. So we'll see. That would be sick, bro. That would be a sick Super Bowl.
It would be a sick Super Bowl because the Cowboys gonna beat the hell out of the Raiders. Plug your channel though, Cowboys Crunk. Tell them where they can find you at though. That's 6 rings right there,
Cowboys
baby.
Crunk. That's it. I did a video just the other day that I really liked. It was a tribute to Jason Witten, and that video went really wide. Man, it just something special. I'm wondering where the Cowboys are going to replace him on the field as a motivator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, and I don't want to talk about the Cowboys too much, but any team, when you have a guy that's a leader on the team, two things. He's got to produce on the field, and he's got to produce outside the field. You know, you can't have a guy, a leader in your locker room that's getting busted for PEDs or getting busted for weed or doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you turn to a player and you say, if you're the leader on a team and you turn to a player and you say, hey, man, you're not producing. You need to step up. You need to step your game up. And then the next day you're getting busted for doing some stupid shit. You could be like, hey, man, I ain't listening to that dude. That dude ain't even pulling his weight. He ain't even doing the shit. You know, he talks a good game, but he turns around and does some stupid shit. So those are the type players like Jason Witten that he wasn't, you could say he lost his athletic ability. I mean, he was getting old. You know, Father Time's never lost a Super Bowl. Father Time has never lost a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But those are the type players that's tough to replace. So we'll see.
I feel you.
But I wanted to call in basically to say hello to Lieutenant Dan, and I'm a new subscriber, bro. In about 2 minutes, as soon as I get off the phone, I'll hook you up.
Well, guess what, Cowboy Crunk? I just subscribed to you right now. So there you go. You got another subscriber, buddy.
Cowboy Crunk on YouTube. Check him out. Appreciate you, brother Doski. Salute to you for your service, man. Let me tell you something. Y'all see that rifle on the wall over there? That's possible because we have freedom here. We have freedom here.
Hey.
Thank you, sir.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir.
And you met my wife.
100%.
You met my wife at the draft.
Mm-hmm.
She's packing, bro.
Absolutely.
And she has to be packed, bro.
100%. Thank you, sir.
I was surprised by how many Cowboys fans, when we went there to the draft, that were packing. Holy moly, there were a bunch of people packing. I was like, I feel so safe.
Texas.
I feel so safe. Hey,
Texas.
Even the Falcons fans that came over, they were packing.
Texas.
Holy moly. I was like, I feel safe. For somebody that doesn't carry, that doesn't own a weapon, I feel safe. I feel safe in a bunch of fans around here that know what's going on.
Dan, I looked you in the eye and say, bro, we good. I say we good. Let's get one more call in before we put some jets on this show. We need to move this thing. What's our timestamp looking like? How long we?
Really long.
Yeah, we had an hour 11. Yeah, so we need to do this real fast. Let me hop in here. E Money, what up? Quickly, what you got for the show?
What up, Bulge? I'm just gonna bring a little ass up real quick. I was gonna run through each division, but all that hype with the LA Rams, man, I just want to tell everybody this. I'm going to give you a couple examples, quick examples, right? Los Angeles Rams has too many big personalities, right? Okay. So we go back to Reggie Bush's comments. He said, listen, most talented team I've ever been on was Miami Dolphins. Absolutely no leadership. Everyone was doing their own thing.
Damn.
Marty Schottenheimer, one of the greatest regular season records of all time, said he bringing all these big personalities. It was just too much, broke the team. More recently, everyone remembers Eagles' Dream Team season. Like Andy Reid's last season, he bring in all the best positions, and the team just fell flat, man. I'm not buying the hype. There's too many bad personalities on there. It's not going to be a team. Very few people Andy Reid can't coach. Marcus Peters was one of those. He got rid of him. So I'm not buying the hype. I'm going to say the guy that went Seattle not only lost their talent, but they lost a lot of their core talent, like core talent. So I'm going to actually give that to Arizona. I think Arizona might pull it off. Maybe San Fran because their quarterback's a little bit more seasoned with the play calling and with the team, even though it's only, 6 games. So that's my thing on the LA Rams. I can promise you LA Rams are going to fall flat, man. It's not going to be the way everyone's saying. I'm going to throw one surprise. I'm not going to run through all of them. I think Eagles is going to end up winning the division again only because their backup quarterback, Nick Foles, made a comment. He's like, I'm the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl in Philly. I won it for Philly. That's going to fire up Carson Wentz. Wentz is ready to go. That team is super confident. They just beat the crap out of New England. So, I think that team's going to take it again. I do think Cowboys is enough. They're right behind them with the talent. I think Miami's going to shock everybody, and they're going to take the East. And not because I'm a Miami fan. Adam Gase figured out Coach Bill Belichick. He sprang out the blueprint on how to beat the Patriots. It took them the second game, but that's where you saw Pittsburgh copying that man-to-man, press man, blitzing. That's where you saw that coming from, and they demolished them. Tom Brady had one of the worst games. So they figured them out. They're going to conquer the division. I think Buffalo Bills are going to fall off. That's really on the track. And of course, any pushback?
No. We just. Hey,
We're kind of reacting to the chat and then also reacting to what's going on with you as well, because we're seeing people say fins up and whatnot. I'm just like,
yeah.
Boy.
10 more seconds though, brother. 10 more seconds though, brother. Hit us with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Strong.
I'll get you with the festival, man. Jacksonville Jaguars, they have a young core nucleus. They're going to take it. That is one of the toughest divisions with the Titans and the Texans in there. Colts, without luck, it's nothing. As far as the AFC West, that's going to be a real tough division. I'm going to say Kansas City Chiefs, maybe Broncos, but I'm going to probably give that to the Chiefs. Other than that, look for the upset. Those who are looking at the spread, not to give any gambling advice, but those who are looking at the spread, understand one thing. The over-under on Miami, 6 games. They had a problem with the OC coach. 2 of their starters went down before the season. They lost their bye.
I said 10 seconds.
Because of the hurricane. They had nothing, and they still won 6 games. So those of you that are betting the under on the 6 on Miami, throwing their money away. Look for them to take the AFC East. I promise.
Appreciate you. Miami not gonna win the East though, but I feel you, bro. Thanks for calling. E Money. Dan got weapons now. Oh shit. Dan got weapons now, my G. 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 Where my tomahawk at? You look at my damn tomahawk across the.
Bruh, you got way too many weapons, fam. I got a nice little knife. It's actually a World War II knife. This was actually a French knife. So
Dan, we're gonna be safe. You hear me? We're gonna be safe, Dan. I got the Batman joint. What the Batman joint called?
Let's get on with the.
Let's run it, man. Let's get back on task before we out here for 3 hours. Dan, it's about to be 11 over there. Let's do AFC South. Who is AFC South? That's Colts, Texans, Jags, Titans. What are your thoughts on there, Dan?
Here's what sets the whole division. Do you think that Andrew Luck comes back completely 100% healthy and able to establish the Colts as a average to above average offense?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I've
so
seen.
You also believe in their defense?
I seen Andrew Luck take trash to 11-5. So that this team is better than that team.
Okay, so then it's a 3-horse race in the AFC South. It's the Jags, who, if you believe in Blake Bortles, then you believe in Blake Bortles. He did some things last year. They started kind of clicking and figuring it out. They've got a really good defense. That nothing has changed there. They had a decent draft for what it's worth. And then Houston's getting Deshaun Watson back. They said that he's on all legs. He's not hurt. He's running around doing his thing. And then Andrew Luck's supposed to be fine. So it's a 3-horse race there. To be honest with you, I only want to pick based on results, what's happened recently, and I don't know what's going on with Andrew Luck. I want him to do well. Let's just be completely honest here. I don't want the Colts to do bad. I don't want Andrew Luck to do bad. But I'm going to go with Houston 1, Jacksonville 2, Colts 3, because they make that leap. And then who's the 4th team in that division?
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Shit, Tennessee. Fuck.
I mean, they'll be a good team, but I mean, you're right about having them 4th though.
Damn it! This is just like the NFC North, man.
I don't
this
think
is any team could win, and no one's probably going to get shut out or swept. And every one of these teams is going to be able to have at least 6 or 7 wins. So what we're talking about is a division that's literally going to come down to luck at the very end. Like, whose defense is going to be able to stop points?
Literally, it's going to come down to luck, Dan. And I think if Andrew Luck comes back healthy, you don't like, because look, football, we can talk all this shoulder mess. Football's up here.
I don't want to put that much stock into it.
Dan, football's up here. Football's up here. We've seen Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl with a trash arm. We've seen Tom Brady win with trash arms. So as long as Luck's healthy, he's still got this up here. Plus, they got that gangster Quentin Nelson on that line now, man. That offensive line is marginally better than what. So they got Braden Smith and they drafted Quentin Nelson. So they got the center from Alabama, Ryan Kelly. Their tackle situation still kind of got some work to do.
Yeah,
I think Marlon Mack is going to be fine at running back as long as he's not sharing carries with anybody. I really do like Marlon Mack. And Luck, man, I think Luck gonna make the thing work, bro. I got Jags 1, Colts 2, Texans close 3. I think Texans and Colts are really going to be fighting out for 2 and 3. And I got
Tennessee
Titans 4.
last.
Titans 4. And it ain't that the Titans trash, but I mean they're
now that you've picked yours, I'm going to do mine. Houston 1, Jacksonville 2, Colts 3, Tennessee 4. Because I just feel like Tennessee played way out of their comfort zone. Like, they played better than they actually were. They really did. And Kansas City lost that game, not Tennessee winning that game. Tennessee got gifted some stuff. Truly got gifted some stuff. And look, I'm not saying bad things about Marcus Mariota. I love Marcus Mariota. I love that team. But I really think they played way better than they were supposed to be. I will say this much. Go ahead and draft Derrick Henry in your drafts later in the draft. They're going to be running this outside zone concept, and that's exactly what Derrick Henry was running in Alabama. He was not running power, and he's going to be a better runner for it. I think getting the carries, being the outside zone runner, having that level of gravity because he's a taller guy, not having to quick cut, which he's bad at. I think the Titans will have a good running game. I don't know if they're just going to be a complete team or not. The Colts, though, I think they do make a huge step up.
Yeah, and you know, man, and this is strictly me having faith in Andrew Luck. You know, if he comes back healthy, he's an elite quarterback. Let's not get this mistaken. You know, but you know, people want to say what they got to say, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody for having the Colts 3 or 4. It's just that, in my opinion, they're 2 here. And,
I think I just feel dirty trying to put the Colts or Tennessee down at the bottom when I know they're going to be better. It's like there's going to be a 4th team in that division. We all know it, but like I feel like not clean trying to put the Colts down when I know that Luck's going to be there. He's going to be there. I know that Mariota is better and he's going to make a stride. The running game's going to get better. I know the Jags are going to be good, and I know that Houston is going to be good. So it's just like,
I just need
grimy.
I just need the boy J.J. Watt to be healthy. That's all. Let's move on.
It's the NFC North. It's literally, you can just toss a coin and people are going to be all kinds of places.
What about the AFC East? think we can wrap this up pretty fast, in my opinion. Dolphins, Jets, Pats, Dolphins, Jets,
Pats 1.
Bills. Okay, cool.
Pats 1, Bills 2, Jets 3, Miami 4.
I got Jets 2, Bills 3.
Huh.
Yeah. Dolphins 4.
Think Darnold's going to be that good, huh?
I don't think Darnold starts. I think Bridgewater or McCown brothers starts.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I think
moving on.
I think Terrell Pryor has a better year with the Jets than he has with the Redskins.
You mean the Bills?
What'd I say?
Redskins.
Terrell Pryor played with the Redskins.
Oh, I'm thinking of Tyrod. My bad.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Receiver.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
By the way, I do think that Tyrod actually does have a better year with the Browns than he did with the Bills because that organization was trying to get him out for racial issues, and I called it.
100%. Tyrod is definitely
that's terrible.
Tyrod is definitely gonna start in Cleveland. But I got Pats,
my bad, chat. I'm sorry.
No, we good. Pats, Jets, Bills, Dolphins. Objection.
Pats, Bills, Jets, Dolphins. Yeah.
I said Pats, Jets, Bills, Dolphins, but whatever. Let's get into it, man.
Pats, Bills, Jets. Oh.
Cullen Klein say Miami going second. Who am I? Cleo Lombardi? I don't know. So
I
it's
don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Going off
cool.
what tape we have.
So it's time. We got your division. We got my division.
How biased do you want to be?
Which one you want to do first, Dan? I got Cowboys fan that's been waiting on it. Let's do the East first.
Let's do yours. Go ahead and do it.
Cowboys, Skins, Giants.
Really?
Wow. No. Not in this order. I'm just writing.
Okay. I was about.
I'm just writing.
Chat. He was
writing.
putting the list down. I was like, holy shit.
I'm just writing. That is not the order.
Holy moly.
Hell no. So, the Redskins made a real strange move by getting rid of Kirk Cousins and bringing in Alex Smith. They're the same guy, but one's older. I don't get it.
Alex Smith makes them worse.
Alex Smith 100% makes the Redskins worse.
But I think it changes the dynamic of the system. Like now they completely change from doing what Kirk Cousins was really good at doing to what Alex Smith is really good at doing. I don't know if that's a fair exchange. You know how like alchemists are like equivalent in exchange. You have to give something to be able to get something.
Yeah.
And it's like you just literally traded the same exact thing. It's not really any different.
I really want to know what they're gonna do with this whole Geis situation. How heavy can they lean on Geis? You know,
how many running backs do they have? They have like 10 of them.
Guys, Chris Thompson.
They have like 6 of them.
Guys, Chris Thompson, Fat Rob, and the other kid that I don't like. That's not very good. But I mean, Guys should get the nod there, and Chris Thompson should be third down, catch the ball, running back guy. So I got Redskins like 4th. I think that's easy for it too. Giants at 3. I do think the Giants will be a tad bit better. I don't think that offensive line is the configuration of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they got numbers. Like they got like Nate Solder on paper is a better name than Eric Flowers, but they move Eric Flowers to the right side where the better defensive ends are. You know what I mean? And I love Hernandez. I mean, B.J. Hill is on that team now. Saquon Barkley's on that team now. So I do expect
Red Helmet Gangsters, bro.
Red Helmet Gangsters.
They're real.
I do expect the Giants to be better than they were last year. I mean, they were 4th last year. I expect the Giants to be better than they were last year, but I don't expect the Giants to make a playoff push. I think it's going to come down to offensive cohesion, and I just ain't got faith in Eli no more. Wait a minute. I ain't had faith in Eli in a long time. I just got less faith in Eli now than I had at first. I think the Giants are in a rebuilding stage, and they should have drafted a quarterback.
I'm with you. As long as Eli Manning is under center, I'm a little worried for any Giants anything. They definitely can't go into 2019 and go get a quarterback unless somebody blows up on the scene in 2018 for 2019's draft. That quarterback class is absolute
trash.
garbo. So bad.
I totally I love Saquon Barkley. but I think he put the Giants in the purgatory for the next couple years because
At least two.
at least three,
At least two.
2 to 4 at least, because he's good enough to give the Giants 7 wins, but he's not good enough to get them to the playoffs. He's not by
I always
himself.
think of the offensive line as an extension of what the running back also can do. So it's the offensive line and the running back working in tandem to get things done.
Yeah.
If you just say Saquon Barkley's back there and can get them 7 wins, that's a lie, because you also have to say, what does the left tackle, the right guard, the right tackle, and the center and the left guard be able to do to get this guy open and be able to move the ball.
Yeah.
It's also on Eli Manning to be able to open up the passing lanes and get those guys to play more nickel or to play more off scheme so that you don't have the box crowded. So it's all up to the offensive line of the New York Giants, which I have no faith in.
Yeah.
And then it's all up to Eli Manning to open up to less players having to play against that offensive line, which I don't have any faith in either. So I don't think the Giants are going to move. I think the Giants are going to be exactly where they were, 4th place.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got no faith in the Redskins, though. I
have more faith in the Redskins and what they can do with the dink-a-dunk offense with Alex Smith than I have with, let's throw it up to Odell Beckham Jr. or pretend that Saquon Barkley's going to get them 7 wins and they'll get, they'll be able to go to 3rd place or 2nd place and be a wild card. That's bullshit. Yeah. I'm sorry, Giants fans. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's absolutely cock shit. That's terrible, because you didn't do anything with that offensive line that's made it any better, but you definitely did do something with your defense, but now it's changing. Andrew Ferenzi, Fonzie.
Yeah.
He said they're changing their system, and all the players are now having to play different stuff. Snacks having to play something different. BJ Hill's having to play something different. So we're looking at a team that's completely changing their identity, and while they're changing their identity, they think they're hopeful to be able to go and get a wild card or win in this division.
Giants,
stuck it, like Botch just said, you're stuck in purgatory for at least another 2 years.
They should have got their damn quarterback, and they should have got Rosen or Darnold, and they should have just tore it down and restarted. But
I've transitioned to water now.
Let them fly. You need to think clear, motherfucker. Law Nation in the building. What's up, bro?
I'm thinking clearly. I'm thinking fine. I'm just switching to water because I need liquid now.
My 2nd place team, Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny because you're gonna like what I have to say. Anyway, continue.
I think I like when the Cowboys are under the radar, though. I really do like when they're not expected to do much. The receivers trash. How they gonna throw the ball?
What up, Law? What up, man? Good to see you in the chat. We could have met up, but you totally avoided us. Thanks, fam.
What's good, fam? Send me the link. See, I do different than Law does things. Law makes things difficult to send these links out. I'm just gonna add you right here. But let me say this. As he just hold up. Boom. Law name. Cut on your Skype, Law. I'm gonna hit you on Skype. So what people aren't forgetting, what people aren't remembering is that Ezekiel Elliott is a goddamn gangster. He's a warrior. He's the king of Wakanda. He's the beast. He's probably the best running back in the league. And that's up for debate, but I ain't really got time to, fuss about that. I do think Zeke's the best running back in the league. But this team is going to be a run-first team. Don't let the receiver narrative fool you, because when Dak Prescott and this team went 13-3, they didn't have amazing receivers then. Dak Prescott went 13-3 with receivers that didn't fit him. Dak won with downfield receivers. Terrence Williams, Bryce Butler, Dez Bryant are pretty much downfield guys. That ain't Dak's bag. Dak is a surgeon. Dak needs surgical route running receivers. Dak got nothing but surgical route running receivers now. There's going to be no pressure to get the ball to Dez Bryant. Dak is going to get the ball to the open man. When Dez got hurt last year and Dak just played surgery, he just did surgery with Bryce Butler, Terrence Williams, and Cole Beasley. He was as productive as he's ever been. He's going to do a lot of that now. And he's only going to throw the ball 18 to 22 times. Attempts. 18 to 22 attempts. It's going to be 35 rushing attempts. Zeke probably get 21 or something. I don't know. Dak probably get 5. Tavon Austin may get 2 handoffs or something, and Rod Smith is going to be spell guy. This is a run-first defense. A run-first offense. And the offensive line is better than it's ever been. I think Lael Collins is better than Doug Free. And even though Connor Williams is a rookie, he shows more potential than Ron Leary. So we'll see how he grows within that position. But he's absolutely better than Jonathan Cooper. And people are concerned about Tyron Smith's back issue. When Tyron got hurt last year, that was a knee problem. He's been having a bad back forever, and he just kind of get the shot, and we don't have to worry about his back no more. Tyron Smith's issue is it came from a knee last year. That's the first time he's had a knee injury that kept him down like that. So the knee's fine. The rest of the offensive line is fine. The running back, Zeke's head on straight. Zeke ain't punch nobody. Zeke ain't pull no girl's shirt up. Zeke is out of trouble. He's fine. We're adding pieces to that defense that's very underrated, ranked like 8 last year or something like that. Hold on, Law. Don't call me. Just get active. Wait a minute. Don't call me, Law. I'm gonna call you. We've added youth to that defense, which was already like top.
Oh boy.
Hold up. That was already top 10 last year. I expect the Dallas Cowboys to be anywhere between a 12 to 13 win team. I just also expect the Eagles to be somewhere between a 12 and 13 win team. And I think it's going to come down to a fight between the Cowboys and the Eagles, and we may split, and by some kind of whatever, the Eagles are going to win the division, and that's okay. They can win the division with 13 wins. We can win by 12, but I do think the Cowboys are going to be a playoff team, and I do think they're built to make a playoff push. We'll see, with the Eagles being number 1 for obvious reasons. What you got, Dan? Time out. Law, you here?
Nah, I don't think he's in here yet.
I see him right there on the thingamajig. What we doing here? what we doing? Hold up, Dan. Before you get started, because it's going to mute you if I try to call Law real fast. So let me call Law real fast.
Why don't you just add him to the group?
That's what I did, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't answer. He said, "Okay, I'm ready." I don't know. Let me hit add person. Laws Nation. Done.
Laws.
Yeah. He does Laws Nation. Yeah, he does that thing.
LOL.
LAWS. Laws, like apostrophe S. Like, all right, Dan. Let me hang up for you real quick. I'm gonna call Law. Hold up. And I try to sleep with the lights on. Law Nation.
Nah, I don't think he's in here, man.
I see his name up top though. Do you see his name, Dan?
Yeah, right. But it's dark, which means that he didn't answer the call or he's not in here yet.
You need to answer the phone. But go ahead, Dan. Tell us about the NFC East.
Okay. So here's how I have the NFC East going down. I have the Giants in last place, the Redskins in third. I have the Eagles in second, and I have the Cowboys in first. And I'm not doing that.
Hold up, Dan. I'm sorry. Boom. Law.
What's up, man?
Man, why you don't answer the phone when I'm trying to call you, man?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. Are you there now?
Yeah,
I'm live like 95.
Yeah, you live, but let me add Dan. Boom. Let me hit the Dan button. Lieutenant Dan.
Wait, what?
Okay, so cool. So Law just didn't hit the button. What up, Law? What up, Dan?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what it was, man. You know, I'm getting old, man. I'm gonna use the Mark Home line. I'm getting old, man.
Yeah, Dan. So Law. So first of all, Law, I want you to plug your channel. Then we're gonna hear Dan tell us why the Cowboys are gonna be first in the division. But plug your channel though, Law.
Hey, man, for those who don't know, man, just type in LAW Nation, and you should see me. I'm more of a Cowboy-centric show, but I'm going to dive in a little bit of other stuff, too, as well. We're going to be doing some things with Okoye, if y'all don't know who he is, but Check him out, Koye, accumulating knowledge over years of existence.
Mm-hmm.
Check him out. We're gonna do like every week we're gonna be breaking down pretty much the division. We're gonna be breaking down like matchups and stuff like that. So it's gonna be nice this year.
Mm-hmm. Laws Nation, check them out. Now, Dan, tell me and Law why the Cowboys are gonna win the division. Go ahead, Dan. Tell us why.
This is from an outsider looking in. So you guys are the Cowboys guys, so you're going to be a little more critical. You're going to be a little more honest about your team. You may have some bias here or there talking about particular players being better than they are, with guys on the outside looking in going, this is how we see your players. But as a Falcons fan looking at the Cowboys and what they did in the draft and what they've done over free agency and how they've managed their money, I look at it this way. You've got a Cowboys team that's going to be healthy 4 games in. They're going to have all their players back. They're going to be ready, steady, go. And you're going to go back to running the ball, which was super effective for your team. Zeke is probably top 5 as far as running backs are concerned.
Number 1.
And that's because of the system, because of the style that you play, makes Zeke effective. He's already a very good running back, but the way that you tailor to Zeke, the way that you run with Zeke, makes him even more effective. Okay, let's put something to rest very quickly. I don't know about your wide receivers. I don't.
Okay.
And I don't know about your tight ends.
Sure.
But I love your offensive line.
Sure.
I love what you did with your D-line. I know you're going to get some guys back that are injured. You will get those back soon. And I like your linebacking core, even with LVE. I understand that some of you Cowboys fans probably don't like him or are very timid about him starting or getting big reps, but I think he'll be positive, especially with Jalen Smith. He's going to be super positive. That's going to be an interesting addition. Sean Lee, yes, if he can stay healthy.
The best linebacker in the league when healthy, yeah.
If he can stay healthy.
The best linebacker.
And you got some pretty good corners, and you got some solid safety help as well. This team is suited for the long run, as long as they stay healthy, to grind teams out, be number 1 in time of possession, top in the league in rushing yards, and beating up on good and bad defenses and making them tired, making them exhausted. This is something that the Eagles didn't have to face last year with you guys, and you will have it full force. You also don't have a thing with Dak that's there. And look, I like Des Bryant. I like Des Bryant a lot.
Right.
But now he doesn't have to be like, Des has to get these catches. You know, I have to throw to Des because contract obligations, because that's a thing. That's money. There's extra money and incentives in everybody's contract to make certain levels of receptions and touchdowns and everything.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
With that weight off his shoulder, what you're getting is a team that's focused on running and grinding the ball, destroying the clock, and being a complete pest to the Redskins, the Giants, and especially the Eagles. You will split games with them, and I would, Eagles fans, please don't kill me. You may sweep them with a chance at it. Okay.
Of course,
we'll see what the Falcons can do to them in game 1, and then you guys will have tape on them for this season, and then you'll go, okay, whenever you have to play them, we'll understand what went wrong, what went right, and how we can expose this year's Eagles team. And if our system of running the ball, turning the clock, and beating them to hell, because you will, they'll start stacking the box at some point, and you will hit them. Somebody running down the field, I don't know who, but somebody running down the middle of the field will expose that defense. And you will grind them out. You'll grind them out.
Gregory,
I'm extremely excited about the Cowboys as a Falcons fan, but I cannot wait to see you guys in the A and beat your ass.
Stop it, Dave. Stop it.
Can't wait
Stop
to see
it.
that, man.
So bad.
I can't wait to see that.
Law and Vosh. Just one more thing. I respect your team for what it is, and I love your players. And you got to understand that this is like a official, unofficial rivalry with Dallas and Atlanta that I want to play you guys and play at a top level and beat you, because I feel that that's like, you are one of the top teams in this league. You are.
And last year was a sham. Like last year we wasn't at our best.
If
y'all won, and it was like
it's terrible.
You came on the show, did you? You came on the show, right? You talked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came on the show. You didn't fold up, so although we lost, and you came on the show and you said, "Hey, you didn't rub it in though. You're a good guy."
Let me say this though. Let me say this real fast.
Real quickly. You didn't have the full offensive line there. Had the full offensive line there, it would have been a completely different story.
We had Zeke.
And Adrian Claiborne, I'm going to tell you right now, is not going to be effective with wherever he went. I think it was the Patriots. He went to the Patriots. He's not going to be effective there.
We had Zeke.
And Dontari Poe leaving our system, going to the Panthers, not going to be effective there either.
So
there's exposure that you can use on those players.
In the chat box, Gregory Castillo, his wife is supposed to be sending me an Ohio State hat, but he said, stack the box and see if Dak can convert 3rd and 5 or whatever he said. And
do it. Try him.
We do it, but we've done it. We always do that. That's what we do. Dak is best at manipulating coverages, dog. Like people underrate Dak, but it like. I always take it back to 2016, man, when Dez got hurt and we had to throw within the offense. Dak was as efficient as he's ever been. And even if you stack the box, we run in the stacked boxes all the time. We just block that shit. We just block it up front. Go ahead, Law.
You remember the Arizona Cardinals game, right?
100%.
And one can argue, Adrian, what's his guy name that's out there on the edge that Patrick Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Is he a trash of a cornerback?
No, sir.
Is the Honey Badger trash of a free safety?
No, sir.
Did you see that game? Did they put 8 9-man fronts?
100%.
Did Ezekiel Elliott show up and show out?
Absolutely.
Did Dak Prescott was able to get the ball to number 19?
Mm-hmm.
People fail to realize. I know a lot of people gonna say this Cardinals were trash, but at that time, everybody was saying like, okay, Cowboys gonna have to really figure out how to beat this 8 9-man front. Mm-hmm. And you saw, oh boy, you did a film session on him, Chandler Jones. He was able to put some ass whoop on somebody, right?
Tyrus Smith, he showed he whooped Tyrus Smith. Look, man, people think
when we win, it's like, oh, it was the horrible team,
Let them fly. People think that football is like Dungeons and Dragons or something. Like there's a point, and if 13 points beat 8 points, it's not like that. Any man can beat any man. I've seen Cole Beasley beat up on Cardinals. We smoked the damn Seahawks corners, man. And zone coverage is all about finding the open zone. Every zone got a weakness, and Dak knows how to find that. When it comes to man coverage, that's about reads. So look, man, let me tell y'all something. Talk about the smash concept. That's the easy concept I always go to teach people. We got a curl down low and a corner up high. We reading the outside guy. You either gonna play back on the corner or you gonna play up on the curl. I don't care how good your damn coverage ability is. If you don't know it's coming, you ain't gonna be able to cover that damn corner to the outside. If you do, we'll just hit the hitch. That's how reads work. That's how offense works. So sure, you may have Patrick Peterson over on the other side of the football, but if he don't know what routes coming, as long as Dak throws with anticipation, which we've seen him be able to do, we can convert passes. And like I said, Dak only gonna throw the ball 22 times a game. Stop the run. Talk about that. Stop the run.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this though: how creative Jimmy Johnson offense was? I'll sit and wait.
You talking about in the 90s?
I know it's the 90s. I know it's dated, but yeah, how creative was it?
Give the ball to Emmett. Check Irvin. If Irvin not there, give it to Novacek. What are we doing?
They're gonna say, man, Lauder turned over to a homerism for Jason Garrett.
So the chat right now is Falcon bashing. So can we go ahead and get on to the next? Can we get on to the next division so I can lay some truth? That's what I do on my show.
This is my show, Dan. This is my show, Dan. This is my show, and we talking about the Cowboys right now. Law, tell us who rank the East for us, Law, and then we'll move on to the South. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I mean, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And I'm not going to be one of the guys that are going to go out there and say, okay, the Cowboys is number one in the NFC East right now at this point in time. We must earn that. We must earn that grind. So far right now, I have the Filthy as number one until proven otherwise. So I got Filthy number one. Number two, I have my Dallas Cowboys. Number three, believe it or not, I have the Washington Redskins. And then I have the Giants as last place in that division. As it relates to what the Redskins did on the offseason, one can argue. Somebody can say this, that Darius probably be a better running back than Fournette. Yeah, I said it. So what? Sue me. This guy, he is explosive, and they actually got a good offensive line coach that can coach those guys up and put everybody in the right places too. So I'm not sleeping on the Redskins, guys. And Alex Smith, he do not, and I'm telling you, he do not throw the game away. There's going to be something where he's not going to give gifts away like Kirk Cousins used to do. So don't sleep on them Redskins.
Loyal Bird, I wish I was high. I'm not even going to joke with you. I wish I was high.
You said somebody high. Oh, man.
Let's get to the NFC South. Let me just open it this way.
All right, Dan.
Open it up, man.
Let me open it this way.
So listen, y'all. In case y'all like tuning in late, or because Law kind of tuned in late. So we've done 7 divisions. This is going to be the 8th one. Then we're going to kind of go back and sort of project who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to go to Super Bowl, and who's going to win it. So go ahead, Dan. Give us your last go.
So, as a Falcons fan and on my show, I don't preach any bias. I actually am very critical of my Falcons, and I'm critical of the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, my head coach's decisions, my players' consistency in what they do. And I do fear teams like the Panthers when they're consistent, teams like the Saints now that they have a youth movement going on. And I am also one of those guys that I will – and this is just going with Tampa Bay right now. Tampa Bay is just not a good team. They have a lot of great players on it, but their philosophy is not good. And their quarterback is trash. I'm going to be completely honest. Jameis Winston is trash. Oh. He shouldn't even be playing in the NFL right now. He is a disappointment and a failure for all quarterback standards going on right now, getting in trouble so many times off of the field. And I don't understand why he hasn't been sat down or benched or been talked to by coaches, organization members, other players, telling him, why in the hell are you getting yourself into these particular predicaments? That being stated, I don't think the Falcons are going to win this division this year. I think they'll come out with a wild card this year. I think it's 10-6 or 11-5 for the Atlanta Falcons this year. Second place. They have a third place schedule. It's pretty easy towards the middle of the season, then towards the beginning and the ends of the season, it's actually really, really tough. Atlanta's problem was not Steve Sarkisian. I'm quickly state this because I don't want to talk all night about the Atlanta Falcons, but Steve Sarkisian did have plays that he ran that were effective. It was the players' consistency in running those plays and doing what needs to be done, running their routes, making the blocks, and mentally being there that caused the Atlanta Falcons to look like a team that was desperately in need of a new offensive coordinator, albeit a team that desperately needed to be with a new offensive coordinator that still went 11-5 and then still went to the second round of the playoffs. So I will put a little asterisk on that and say that apparently Steve Sarkisian was good enough with the players that we have on this team to be able to get to the second round of the playoffs. Bite me if you think that I'm wrong, but that's just the facts. The facts remain that this team still made it to the playoffs, beat the number 1 offense in the league, and we're about a touchdown away from beating the Eagles. And I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, that we didn't do the job. Sorry.
Right.
But that's player consistency. I mean, look at the Saints game that we played, the Atlanta Falcons and the Saints, where there was a butt interception off of Marcus Lattimore. What is that? That's called player inconsistency. Mohamed Sanu, accounting for almost half of the interceptions that Matt Ryan had last year, batting the ball up like a volleyball. What's that? What is that? That wouldn't happen on any other regular play. Why are you doing that this particular year? And that's just called not being consistent with what you're doing. That has nothing to do with the routes or the combinations or the plays drawn up. That has everything to do with the players on the field not performing and what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, that team didn't have the depth. I think that this year, the team definitely doesn't have the depth. We got a couple of Cowboys players.
Trash.
And a really interesting rotation. We've got a really interesting rotation that I think that is going to be really, really potent. Linebackers are pretty good, and the corners. How did we get Isaiah Oliver? I don't even understand how that happened.
My God, Isaiah.
How did that happen? Like, I don't even understand that.
In the second.
And then on offense, you have a guy like Steve Sarkisian with a wide receiver like Calvin Ridley, who he mentored, he trained with, he understood how this player is supposed to play. And I draw back to Kyle Shanahan and how he went out during his second season with Atlanta and was able to bring in guys that he wanted on his offense that were going to work for his system. Now Sark is doing that.
Well, Dan, where's your weakness on your team, Dan?
I'll point that out immediately. We have no tight ends. We have no tight ends. And Austin Hooper has been a complete disappointment as far as I'm concerned.
But is that a deal breaker,
defense,
though?
Are you guys going to line up more in the 4 and the 3 wide out setup anyway? More of a team personnel?
I think you're going to see a lot of 11 and 22 personnel from this team, or excuse me, 21 personnel from this team. You're going to see a lot of single tight end or double tight end stacks where we're actually going out at the wide receivers or throwing at the running backs. That's where the ball is going to be going.
Aren't you kind of like, damn, the Saints took a page out of our book. They got 2 good running backs, and now we already had the 2 good running backs. Are you thinking that the Saints are really kind of mirroring what you guys did in order to be successful last year?
I don't think they're mirroring us. I think they're mirroring the trend that's happening in the league. The trend in the league was a pass happy offense with a lot of really fast speedsters that were relying on left tackles to protect and then pass to running backs. And that was opened up by the Patriots, the Steelers, the Seahawks were the ones that made defenses important. The Ravens with their defenses and how they ran their offenses, and the Eagles and what they did last year and how they ran with, limited cap space. Their running backs and the tight ends were super important, and you didn't have to have mega offense from the wide receivers. And they were very enthralled with having a complete offensive line and a complete defensive line and having corners that can be moved around, but elite safeties, or if you want to call them elite. That is the trend of the NFL, and that's exactly what the Saints did. They said, okay, enough is enough. Stop going to free agency. Go to the draft, just like the Seahawks did, just with the Falcons, just like the Patriots, just like these teams that have been successful. Let's go draft defense. Make this. We already have the offense to be able to do this. Let's go get a defense that's worth our time, and let's go pick up a couple guys that we know that are successful, not overpay for them, and be a team that can mimic what the Seahawks did and what the Falcons are trending with, and copy what all of these teams, the good teams, the teams that have been doing this kind of stuff, study them, copy, example, and play. And that's why the Saints are so talented, why they were so good last year. Depth is a concern with New Orleans, but I still have them number 1. I have Atlanta number 2. I think that second-year Sarkisian is going to be just as good, if not better.
Hold on. What makes your team better than the Panthers?
I think my team is better than the Panthers because we have a better offensive line. I think that my team is better because we have wide receiving weapons. I think that my team is better because we have more depth at defense. But that's not to say that the Falcons will sweep the Panthers. By God, we will not. We will not sweep the New Orleans Saints. But I'm more inclined to say that we will sweep Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay right now has a lot of issues, and I feel for them because I live here in Orlando and we're only an hour away from Tampa. I have to hear their concerns. I have to hear their problems. I have fans who are friends who are fans of Tampa, and I have to hear those concerns all the time. I have to hear how Tampa, if they would just get the right coach with the right mentality and stop trying to siphon from other teams and get their sources from other places, then they would be a good team. They would be a good team. They would contend. They would be like those 2000, 2001 Tampa Bay Buccaneers that were so successful. But they're not. They took Mike Smith and they promoted him to defensive coordinator and play a very bend, don't break defense, which does not work in this current NFL trend. And they have an offensive a head coach who was Atlanta's offensive coordinator who really wasted Matt Ryan's opportunity and doesn't look like he's doing anything with Jameis Winston or this particular offense as well. Yes, you have Mike. What's his name? I can't remember his name. It's a wide receiver, but
Evans.
Yes, you have Mike Evans, and he's an amazing talent. But what else do you have on that team?
But let me ask you this though. We all know that football is all about momentum. Now, all of a sudden, they do have the weapons. Somebody can argue. Nobody can argue that they don't have the weapons. They do have the weapons. So if it's all about momentum, nobody saw the Rams coming when they came. The greatest show on turf. So maybe when everybody gelled the second year together, what if this? Who's their backup quarterback?
Sean
Yeah.
Mannion from Oregon
Mannion.
State.
Is that the guy that played for the Rams, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him. He methodically moved the ball. I'm not saying that he's he's the next best thing since sliced bread, but there's something about this guy. If he can come out and he start hitting these guys down the seam, because they got one hell of a. You can't sleep on the tight end. They got one hell of a tight end. They got a guy that can vertically take the ball over the top. The little small guy, I forgot his name. He used to play for Filthy. And they also have, like you said, Mike Evans. They got pieces around them. If they play smart, control football, they can hit. And then they got the last play schedule. They can hit a lot of people by surprise.
My bad. You was talking about Tampa Bay. Fitzpatrick is actually their backup guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, they doomed then.
I'll put it down to this one point: coaching.
That's what I was
Who is
talking about,
coaching the
Rams.
teams? Who's leading them? Who's putting them at the right places? Who's
They better go get
calling
Colin
timeouts
Kaepernick.
and game managing and making their players play in the right places to make them succeed? I believe in Sean Payton. I believe in what is that? Ron Rivera in Carolina, and I believe in Dan Quinn. I do not believe in Derek Carter. I do not believe in Mike Smith. I do not believe in the group that they have trying to teach those kids, because if there's anything that I've learned from this entire time is that both Derek Carter and Mike Smith, as offensive coordinators and head coaches for Atlanta, did not like to develop talent, and I see that exact same thing happening in Tampa. It's doomed for them, and it's spelling them in the wrong direction. I'm not hating on Tampa, nor am I hating on Carolina. I'm just saying that if you're not developing your talent, you're going to run into a rut, and you're going to be stuck there until you draft well and you get those current coaches that are not developing talent out.
So I just drew up my playoff scenarios for both sides, for both conferences or whatever, but I'm going to let Keon on the phone because he about to hit you upside the head with some of this Buccaneer talk. Then I'm going to talk this playoff. Go ahead, Keon. Get him, Keon. Get him.
Look, I will not try to kid you that Dirk Cutter and Mike Smith are on their last legs. They need to go now. But I think after we go 0-3, I think that those changes will have to be made, and they will be made by the Glazer family at that point. Ryan Fitzpatrick, not a great quarterback. He is smart, though, but I think that there's more hope than what you have, because what you put out there, because, yes, we have O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, both very productive tight ends. We have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out wide. That not to mention Deshaun Jackson. Oh my God. Yes, the coaching is the biggest issue. And what's going to take is our guys losing a few games. I think we're going to go like 7-9 this year. But
I agree with that. I think that 7-9 is a good slate for the Bucs. I don't think they don't have the talent. I just think that their coaching is awful, and that they're still sticking around with Jameis Winston, and that's like you put too many eggs in one basket, fam.
A lot of pride, man.
Because he's been trending up every year since he's come into the league. Now he hasn't had explosiveness. He hasn't had the great decision making, but I would put that on Dirk Cutter and Todd Monken, and also the defense hasn't been.
Keon, did you hear that breath? Let me stop you right. Did you hear that breath you just breathed, Keon? Come on, man.
Yes,
You're
sir.
fourth, Keon. You can't, and Keon, you know you my homie, dog, but you can't give up 3 losses in this division, bro. You can't do it. You can't do it. Not with Carolina Saints and Atlanta, dog. You can't do it. You're fourth.
I honestly think that we could be third, but
you're fourth.
Look, I don't know about.
Break it down, Keon.
about the
Who you gonna
Carolina.
beat then? Who you gonna beat to get to that spot?
Keon about to get Ed Oliver, man.
Carolina.
Come on.
Carolina. I think that they're the one team that we can pick off because the issue with the Carolina game that we had last year against them, the last one we had, was Chris Baker. In a fourth down play, he jumped off sides. That was to help Chris Baker, but that was bad luck. We had that game if not for that last play. We can beat the Panthers. I think we can take the Panthers, but other than yes, I know you're like four.
All right, Keon.
Okay, that's
Keon,
1 and
let me-
15. That's 1 and
Let me say
15.
it this way then. Let me
that's
say
one-
it this way. Go
that's
ahead. Go
one and-
ahead.
Okay, that's 1 and 15. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Law.
I'm gonna ask you this, Keon. Give me the Panthers' strength and give me your weakness, and let's see where give me your team weakness, and let's see where that all match up at.
Fourth.
All right. You want me to start with the offense or defense?
Quickly though, Keon, because it's been 2 hours.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, I think
Yeah, cut this up.
You are in the hot seat.
We ain't cutting nothing. We're gonna run it like this. We're gonna put 20 ads on this thing too. We're gonna get paid. Come on, Keon.
Yeah, offensively, we have an issue with our right guard spot and the longevity of our right tackle in DeMar Dotson. It's going to be an issue for us to run the ball, I think. But we do have a slasher in Ronald Jones II. I think that can be mitigated. They do have
I really
a strong
liked their
front
draft.
seven.
I gotta say, Ronald
I do
Jones
not
II
like
and Vita Vea were fun.
I like, yeah, sure. Dan, I totally, but they're fourth. Keon, give me 10 more seconds before I hang up on you, bro. We need to move on.
All right. Well, you can just mute me then. I'm
You're
still
right.
gonna listen, bro. If you don't want to hear anything, but thank you for letting me talk.
Hey man, thank you for coming in here, Keon. I really appreciate it, buddy. You put some good points in.
Yeah, Keon,
You did good points.
you did really well, Keon, but you're fourth. Thank you, bro. About to go ahead and mute you. And I just did my playoff bracket. The Packers didn't make the playoffs. I'll explain why after this call. Cardinal fan, what up?
Yo, Vach, go back to talking about the Cowboys. You never talk about the Cowboys. Come on, you got sidetracked.
You being funny, man. I think we talked about the Cowboys for a good long time. And to be fair, I'm about to get back into the Cowboys a little bit too, though. But if you want to hear more Cowboys talk, go to Law Nation's channel, subscribe to him. I'm on his channel very often, fussing with people.
Will do. Have a good one.
Okay, cool.
Yoga Flame.
Cardinal fan, the homie, dog. He just come in, drop money, tell other people drop money, and leave. I love Cardinal fan. So look,
Boy, hey, Rock, those were the glory days when we had the Cardinals twice a year. Oh, man.
The damn
man,
Central.
boy.
The damn Central, boy.
Like a whooping boy.
Damn.
look at Dan. This is like you guys got the Buccaneer twice a year, man.
Yeah, be happy, man.
Good, boy.
You know, and this is really funny is that I actually hate playing the Bucks. I despise playing the Bucks. I wish San Francisco was back in our division again. I wish that it was the Rams and San Francisco and Atlanta and New Orleans. I wish that was the division that we were playing in again. That is the division that would have been like the talk of the town.
No. Let me tell you what division would be a talk of the town. You move the Panthers out and just move the Cowboys there in your division. Oh, I can imagine going down to Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing them twice a year, and then going down there to Big Easy, then going down there to Atlanta playing them twice a year. Boy, that would be a cold division, man.
And
Cowboys would dominate the South.
Talk to him,
Man,
bro.
I think we'd have a cold split in most of our years. Cowboys Falcons. I think Cowboys Saints would be nasty.
Every year.
That would be nasty. People beating up. You talk about Southern rivalries, like Southern hate. That's Southern hate. That's Southern hate right there. But that's what the whole South is bred on is Southern hate.
So
that's all it is.
So y'all want to hear AFC first or NFC?
Let's go AFC first
AFC,
because
man.
we're on here.
My two bye week teams are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots. Cool, right? My other division winners in which they've made the wild card is the Baltimore Ravens and the LA Chargers. Baltimore Ravens would be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. The LA Chargers would be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so, look, Law made that face when I said the LA Chargers. Let me find my paper so I can go back to my logic.
No. I'm more making that face for the Ravens, though.
Okay, well, see, the reason we said that, I think
fix my face. Help my face out, man.
I think the Bengals will be fourth. The Browns will be third, just better than just. So what I think about the Pittsburgh Steelers is I think the Le'Veon situation is going to be really toxic, man. They didn't pay him. I think he's going to play for the franchise tag. He's going to play to not get hurt. Because if Le'Veon gets hurt, he lose all his leverage. I don't think he's already planning on his days after Pittsburgh. You see what I'm saying? And if you ain't got a fully invested Le'Veon, that may be bad business. You see what I'm saying?
The Big Ben, though. Big Ben Roethlisberger. That's all you need.
Sure.
Yeah, Ben and Le'Veon are probably out by the end of the year, though.
Ben been talking about retiring next year. And look, man, if it was that easy, if it was Ben save us all, then Le'Veon wouldn't even get franchise tag. They want to keep Le'Veon. They just don't want to pay him. And I'm looking at it like you're not paying a running back. You paying your identity, fam. You paying to keep your offense the best offense in the league. And they want to take that chance. So I got Steelers second. I got Ravens first. I think the Ravens defense is really gonna put them over the edge. They're gonna.
So when do Joe Flacco get hurt and they put the robot machine in the other young guy?
I don't think I don't think Joe gets hurt. I do think Joe will have
bench.
He will have a few consecutive 3-and-outs, and they're gonna scream. They're gonna scream for Lamar Jackson. But I do think they've upgraded the tight end and the wide receiver position. They've been trying to upgrade receiver for years. They finally got it done this year. I just think the Baltimore Ravens will barely make it better than Pittsburgh, and the Ravens ain't trash, man. Ravens ain't trash. It's just that Pittsburgh's so good that we just tend to think that the Ravens aren't as good as they normally are.
Who do you fear on the Ravens defense?
Who do I fear? They got one of the nastiest boxes in the league, Law. As far as stopping the run, pass rushing, Judon, the kid from Houston, Camelot Correa. What's the kid? Tyus Bowser from Houston. T Sizzle. People say T Sizzle old, but he still got 13, 14 sacks last year. So, let's not sleep on that. CJ Mosley that's a nasty little box. Then they still got Jimmy Smith on the outside. Brandon Carr is out there. They got my boy Alabama, Humphrey, cornerback from Alabama. So they got a solid group of cornerbacks out there too. So
why are you putting the Cincinnati Bengals on the sliding board?
Because they trash. And they haven't adequately addressed their offensive line, in my opinion.
How do you address Vach after he says something's trash? You just like, yeah. It's trash.
Yeah, I believe you. But okay, so okay.
What am I supposed to do? Sit here for 20 minutes and be like, no, they're not trash.
They got the red pistol, the red rifle.
Fair enough. Let me.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Let me elaborate.
Hey, don't sleep on my running back on that team though. I
love Joe Mixon, but they completely tore down the offensive line. They drafted Billy Price. I like Billy Price, but the rest of it's trash.
There you go.
The rest of Law. It takes 5.
Let's move on.
All right, go ahead, man.
Asked me.
I got a wife that's probably gonna stab me with that knife that I showed on here.
Tell her you making money. You know how many subs you got tonight? I
don't know. Probably none.
You got some. So we got Chargers versus Steelers. I got the Chargers beating the Steelers. Then I got the Ravens and the Chiefs. I got the Ravens beating the Chiefs. The Jags beating the Ravens, Pats beating the Chargers. Then in the championship game, I got Jags versus Pats. I got Jags going to the Super Bowl there. In the NFC, because defense matters. In the NFC, I have the Saints and the Vikings having bye weeks. The Saints just talented, man. Like I ain't really touch on it yet, but as long as everything is in line for the Saints, they'll be fine. They'll be a top tier team. So the Cowboys versus the Falcons in the wild card, and the Rams versus the Eagles in the wild card. I got the Rams smoking the Eagles, and I got the Cowboys smoking the Falcons. Then in the next round we got Saints versus Cowboys, which will be lit. Cowboys win that. Vikings versus Rams. Vikings win now, and then the Cowboys beating the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl and beat the Jaguars. 24-17.
Who's Super Bowl MVP? Randy Gregory.
Zeke Elliott. You already know.
Thank you, Rex Smith, for subbing to unintentional grounding. Stay grounded, man. Rise up. Good to see you.
Already know. So go ahead, man.
All right, so I'm just gonna put it down this way. My top 3 to go to the Super Bowl this year are Falcons, Eagles, Cowboys. Those are the top 3. I'm not even gonna do this whole playoff prediction thing, but I have those 3 teams. Actually, I'll add the Vikings into that too. Those 4 teams are going to be the ones that could potentially go to the Super Bowl and go win it. And then I have on the AFC side, I have the Jags, the Patriots. I have the Steelers on a last-ditch effort to try to get in. And, you know, it'd be really interesting if the Houston Texans actually made a run.
You haven't thought this through, Dan.
Yeah.
You haven't thought this through.
Not 100%, no, but I'm just thinking about how, you know, we picked and who we had winning divisions and, you know, the Jags, the Patriots, the Steelers, and maybe the Houston Texans. That doesn't sound awfully out of the realm of possibility. I think that all of those teams could have a potential to run.
So you got the Texans over the Chiefs?
Yeah, I can see that.
Possibly.
Chiefs?
Yeah. It just depends on Pat Magic, man. If he's good, he comes out there. Even if he's average, he comes out there and he plays well.
Okay.
You know you have something for the future, but
so Texans would be the second team coming out of that division behind Jacksonville, or would they win the division?
What did I pick? I think I had Houston winning the division, and then I had Jacksonville being the second team. So that would be Jacksonville coming out as a wild card, potentially beating who they were playing. Houston probably is not going to get a bye.
Yeah.
I don't think Houston's
man. Go and put Cleveland Browns up there, man.
Hell no.
Damn, no. Come on, man.
It ain't time.
On paper,
I did say on my chat, though.
On paper, they look good. On paper, though.
I did say on my show that I wouldn't be surprised if the Cleveland Browns made it to 8-8 or 7-9. I would not be surprised if they were able to win some games they didn't think they should, or surprise some people in some spots. They have a team. They just need to put it together.
Win Coach of the Year.
8-8, they would win Coach of the Year, and they probably would also have like Rookie of the Year too, just because it's like, wow, look at those guys.
Law, do you have any final thoughts or predictions for the playoffs before we wrap up this 2-hour ass show?
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Lieutenant Dan so he can stay on this thing. But neither here nor there. The Cowboys, I don't want to jinx what you just said, so I'm just gonna copy and paste what you just said. Cowboys with Ezekiel Elliott winning the MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and then also winning the league MVP because he's gonna come back for vengeance is mine. Just like the guy said, when the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he that is in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly thy brother's keeper and founder of lost souls. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance those who attempted to poison and destroy thy brother Ezekiel Elliott. And you will know thy name is Lord when Ezekiel Elliott put 2,000 yards on the season this year. Baby, Cowboys going all the way, baby.
I'm not religious. So I'm just going to say this.
Neither
I hope the
Samuel.
football God strike you down with every referee call that you ever had just for trying to rant off that rant.
Hey, Law. What he say? Jimmy has said, I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Yeah.
I like what one of my favorite wrestlers just said just a little while ago. He said, look, man, we don't have to win it clean. I'm just going to roll a motherfucker up. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to roll a motherfucker up.
We got two quick
Shout out to
callers.
Smith fan, man, for making a donation to help grow the nation, man. He said,
Salute.
Law, got that bad mother sucker. I don't know if we can curse on this network. Wallet, yes, indeed.
We're doing it.
You said
We're doing it live.
You said the fuck you want on this goddamn show. We got two callers.
Oh, it's unfiltered.
Ooh, this one's special right here. This one's special. Law. I don't know about your show. What's up? Dan,
I gotta go.
Dan,
I gotta go.
Dan,
I gotta go.
Dan, you need
I
to be
gotta
here for this one. Dan, you need to be here for this one. You need to be here for this one. Law, this is my favorite caller. I don't know what you do on your show, but this is my favorite caller.
Oh no, this is
Carolina
Pimp.
Carolina
No!
Pimp. Carolina Pimp.
What's going on, Carolina Pimp?
Oh, baby.
What's going on, my man?
What's up, big baby?
What is big dog? How's your mama now?
Holding it down for the Doski, Woski, and the Peasky, Whiskey, style of profile, and champagne, and campaigning for the Doski, Woski, you heard? Tell us about them Falcons, Carolina Pimp.
Can I just say something real quick? Carolina Pimp is the coolest caller you have.
Man, the coolest name on YouTube.
Because September 9th, you get to see the best motherfucking middle linebacker in the NFL, number 59. I don't even need to say his name because they already know who it is. Beat the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys.
Carolina Pimp.
And man, look, don't even talk about Sean, dude. Stiff Breeze put Sean Lee on injured reserve for the rest of the year, big dog. And you know I'm spitting the truth, dude. And then September 16th, we dirt stomped the worst team in the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons, because that's a bullshit football team, big baby. Shout out to the C3 Carolina Panthers podcast every Tuesday night at 9. Peace and love, big baby. We out here.
Before I hang up on you, I just want to let you know that you are in Wakanda now, and the Panthers will have nothing but dust and blood. Hung up on your ass, boy. Hung up on your ass, boy.
I'll say this much. As a Falcons fan to a Carolina Panthers fan, and as one of the most energetic and just coolest callers that I know that calls up Vach, I respect you, man. I respect you even though you're a Carolina fan and you hate the Falcons. I respect that.
I'm trying to unmute. Go ahead, Law.
I've been hating the Carolina Panthers ever since they got my guy, Jake Delhomes from our practice squad, and they beat us in that we was going to the playoff, I think, that year. Yeah. And they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And then they lost to the doggone Patriots. Come on, man.
Cardinal fan won't let me unblock him, so I guess unmute him. So I guess we'll just wrap this thing up then. Law Nation, tell the folks where you can find them at. Where they can find you at.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, rabbits and frogs, you guys can find me at Laws Nations. That is on Facebook. That is on Twitter. That is on MySpace, Black Planet, Twitch. That's everywhere you can find PayPal, Patreon. Go and find that page, Laws Nation. And then also on Law Nations, that's YouTube. All you got to do is type in LAWNATION. That's Nation. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out.
His man radio voice is immaculate, dog. Yeah, wait, time out. Law, say this, Law. You are in Wakanda now. The Panthers will have nothing but dust and blood. Say that.
You are in Wakanda now, and the Panthers will have nothing but dust and blood.
Sound better coming from you, and right, Dan. And then tell the people they can find you at, dog.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Lieutenant Dan here. Lieutenant Dan, you don't have any legs. I do have legs, and you guys are supporting me, and I thank you so much for supporting me on my channel. You can find me Unintentional Grounding on YouTube. You can also find me at UNGR_show on Twitter and Instagram. You listen to nothing but the facts and the truth. Rise up and stay grounded.
Goodbye.
Go get a shirt, man.
And I'm
Go get a shirt.
Where I go get that shirt from, man?
You can find that at streamlabs.com/unintentional grounding merch.
And I'm
certainly.
And I'm
they're comfy. Dude, they're so comfy, man. They're so comfy.
And y'all do me a favor, man. Leave a like on this video. Likes are very important. If you're watching this on demand, leave a comment and tell us what you think about our division and playoff selections or whatnot. Follow me on Twitter. Everything is Voch Lombardi. VOCHLOMBARDI. Subscribe. And the Patreon is more important than food, water, and threesomes. All right, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. All right, salute.
Smash that like button, baby.
Smash it.